This is Idiot Mystic, and I'm with Sergio Oziriansky. We worked on that a
Yeah,
little bit,
correct.
but yeah. Hi.
Hello, Hyman. I'm so glad to see you here. It's basically my first podcast of this style. So thank you for having me here today.
Okay, that to me, given so okay. I wanted to ask you before we get into like a the robust explanation and concepts that you bring with you, what if I just was asking you right now, like Sergio, what is happening? How are you talking to me? And what is this
Mhm.
thing that's happening right now? How would you
Oh,
start?
great. Mhm. Yeah, this will be a main topic of our today's conversation, I think. Yeah, and I'm ready to tell few inputs. You can hold on from the beginning and like follow. Yeah. So you ask absolutely correct question. What's going on? How is it going on? Yeah. What's happening now? What's happening every moment of now, and why is it happening? Yeah. This is the most important questions for each of us. Yeah, for every person, it's most important to know what is happening to them personally every moment of now. And we know that it differs. It differs a lot. There are some subjective and objective world, and somehow they are connected. And what happens exactly to you is a matter of research of many scientists. So, in my approach, my theoretical, hypothetical um, list of thought experiments, yeah, just put one simple conclusion, one simple idea, one simple idea that called what if story making, what if story creation is primal. So what if the fundamental force, fundamental field, fundamental radiation, fundamental presence of our um, material world here is story at the first place, because we know and we detect stories happening with everyone and everything, but we used to think that stories are the second things that comes after somebody acts, somebody did something, somebody observed the process, and we like see the story happen. But what if story is primal? What if it's some kind of field, yeah, like Higgs field or any other field that exists somewhere and somehow we don't understand, because 95% of our reality of our material world is dark energy and dark matter that we don't know what is exactly, yeah. So what if somewhere there in this dark room of unexplored, there is a fundamental force of dramaturgy, fundamental force of storytelling. I usually avoid word dramaturgy because it's hard, complicated, and nobody wish to listen to other more after they hear word dramaturgy. So it's something complicated, something hard, and something from theater or somewhere. So if you don't mind, I will give this explanation for dramaturgy and save our many watchers like 4 years of education in university, because there is a very short and great thing I understood only after I learned dramaturgy in the university, after I worked for a few years, and then bam, one night this understanding came to me, and since then I like explore it and move on. So the explanation of dramaturgy, this hard and strange word, it's not about drama. It's not about something bad that happens or melodrama or this stuff. Dramaturgy is just another word for story, for any story that's happening somewhere that has a hero, that has a way of a hero to the goal, and has an observer that observes it. So this is like a capsule we used to detect in our world, like in second and third place. But coming to my first main conclusion, what if the story comes first? Yeah, there is a story happening at the beginning. There is a hero, the character. Yeah, it can be a person, it can be a cloud, it can be a society, anything. Yeah, there is a goal. When you see a good story, anecdote, song, movie, you see character, and most likely at the beginning of the story you will understand what is the goal. Yeah, boy and girl, they want to be together, but their families are against. Yeah, Romeo and Juliet, the most famous one. Yeah, and everything around it. There is a character that needs some great goal, and only thing you need to do to make your story great is to lead your characters to the goal in the most fascinating and most interesting manner. That's all it takes. So you're an observer, you're watching some heroes that are coming to some goals, better, interesting goals, and they come there in interesting manner. Yeah, and you can check any story in the world, like a big Avengers movie or a small anecdote or a comic book. Yeah, and everywhere you will see this trace. Yeah, this capsule of heroes getting to the goal in certain way. It looks it feels like very obvious, yeah, sometimes. But when I ask you or anybody just to write and make a good story, nobody can start from from nothing.
Yeah.
Everybody is lost. Yeah, what story? Oh, person is coming, person is walking, and what happens? Yeah, you need to set a goal for a person, something like this.
I
So
just there's when you said in an interesting way, I
yeah.
realized that as you were talking about storytelling, I was thinking of I'm not going to say boring stories, but I was thinking of modern media, and I was thinking of some stories that where the journey isn't as interesting and they're a little less organic. And then I was realizing that when you said interesting, the only stories that are compelling are the ones where the goal isn't reached in a like boring way or a prosaic way. And I never thought about that till this moment. So now so I guess does that apply to almost like, let's say if you have an ordinary way to do something and a slightly weird way to do something, is it better to do it the weird way?
So yeah, it seems so. Yeah, off topic will be it seems so, and our nature, our this famous process of evolution, yeah, is doing something in an odd way, and then like getting getting hit on your ass because of this. Like 9 of 10 person who do something different, yeah, they fail, but one of them, like a fish in the ocean, yeah, stays alive and make something interesting and more and new. Yeah. So there was a time when our ancestors came out of the water to breathe air. Yeah, on land surface. So some of them choose not to. Some of them choose not to go out. Yeah, and some of them choose to go out. As a result, they get new space to live. Yeah, and they have new like sphere to explore and everything. So for sure, the interesting way is the way of evolution, not the way of the smartest or the way of like the strongest. Yeah, but the way of those who can adapt and who are lucky enough to adapt in a certain moment in a certain way to be more effective. What is the reason? To reach the goals. Yeah, we're coming back to this fundamental stuff. So of course I'm in this framework, so I will usually refer to such words as goals, meaning. Yeah.
And what if, so obviously for, I like that you're saying we'll stick to the framework for the explanation. And then since I've read a lot of your stuff, which we need to figure out a way to link all of it to everyone, because there's a lot.
Mhm.
There's a
Sure.
um
Let me do introduction. Let
um
me do introduction.
um so you are the hero in your story, but you're telling me about storytelling. So in my brain, I'm thinking, is there someone above the storyteller? Like, does someone own the theater, or is there a director? Or
hmm So yeah,
I'll let you
let's come
go
back.
on. I just I'm
Great, great. You're perfect at like giving the spots, yeah, because now you connected our previous talk to the future one. So yeah, this is a natural question that comes, yeah, who is in control, how it's made. And so my conclusion was to quantumize this stuff, yeah, quantumize the storytelling, try to split stories into smallest bits to see how they work and see where that comes from, yeah, where this effect of external effect or some our mind effect comes from. We clearly see stories happening, but we like don't know where they come from. Yeah. Okay, let's try to split and separate stories to parts to see the smallest of them and try to imagine at least some kind of math-like formulas or mind constructs to fit them together and see how they work. Yeah. So of course I'm not the first one who does it. Many like great psychiatrics and philosophers did it for many years, and I sometimes do post on Reddit about this. But yeah, let's stick to the subject. What is creating it? Yeah, what is creating and what is forcing us to make the stories? Shredding it to the smallest bits, we see how it works, and on this scale, we can at least try to detect what you're asking for. Yeah, so this hyperdimensional, above level influence and source of dramaturgy in our world can be at least tried to be seen through the formula, through this mechanism of how it works. Yeah. So let's decompose dramaturgy, story creating, and see why such things happen, like wars. Yeah, like people are good when they just speak like you and me, where we're all good and fine people. Yeah, but when they come together, they create corporations that have limited obligations for their people around, and they can kill and make some crazy stuff. So same thing, wars and etc. How our mind works is are we really in control? Yeah. So everybody, all the bad person in the world, each bad person in the world is damaged starting from the childhood, and in generally wants something good, but good for himself or for the world as he perceives. So there are not like no bad people. There are bad decisions, yeah, in crooked and broken minds of people, yeah, that were broken by the situation. So yeah, where is it coming from? Let's check now. Yeah, this dramaturgy. The best way to get into it is to make a simple thought experiment. You probably saw it in my post because you checked all, but for our viewers, it will be very like useful. How to imagine 4 dimension, 5 dimension, etc. How to imagine this dimension where this hypothetical beings exist, yeah, that direct us. Let's try to imagine the 3D worm in a flat 2D universe experiment. You know the stuff. It's about imagining ourselves as a flat universe people in 2 dimensions and imagining higher dimension as a normal 3D worm. So if we are people that are living on the sheet of the paper, we can move on the surface of the paper, yeah, and our physics works, everything fine. But if we have a 3D worm, yeah, it can penetrate the sheet of paper. It can come in few places, so it can sort of teleport if looking from our perception. If we are 2D, two-dimensional, we see the circle of the worm hanging around, yeah, and moving on the surface. Then if worm goes out and goes in again, we see another circle, yeah. So we can see 2 circles at the same times. We can see one circle appears and then another one comes, yeah, and it goes away. In the same time, worm can see the whole sheet from the upper point of view, yeah, and it can detect where to go. And the laws of nature, of movement, of limits of like the speed of light of our flat universe don't work with this worm, yeah. It can go to any location using its physics and its direction. So now we imagine the same thing, but leveling up, yeah. So we are 3D people, but this story making fundamental stuff, yeah, thing, object, God, generator of dramaturgy, yeah, comes from somewhere, like this worm looking from the top of the sheet, yeah. And when he comes inside, he comes simultaneously as a feeling of joy, love, disgust, yeah, as a feeling of being a carpenter, as a feeling of being a man with kids. And you feel you're a man, you have a kid, and I'm a man, I have a kid. So if only this matters, we are the same. But you have some different stereotypes sets in yourself and in me that differ us, yeah. But this general worm is the same stuff that comes through you and me, yeah, and uses it. So this is the furthest I come for now, and I think this perception of us being a bees in a beehive and a beekeeper is a dramaturgy source, yeah. is more realistic. So don't stick to the understanding of the space and time. This is our concepts. So like a house or food is a concept, mind concept that's timeless. Yeah, food is food for people who eat in past and in future. Yeah, there are different types of food. There are different sets of food, but this is non-spatial and non-time and timeless entity. Yeah, the understanding. Yeah, food, object, wheel, like pencil, something, and like observer. Yeah, something that's lately became very important in modern science. Yeah, my favorite scientist Stephen Wolfram, the like father of many computational experiments and theories. Yeah. Came to this conclusion lately, a few last years in his Rouleat concept. Yeah, observers is important thing, and everybody states it, but we don't have exact place in our formulas and our modern science for the observer yet, because we don't understand how to detect it, how to understand where's the source, and we don't know all the rules how it works. So my thought experiments are just like thought experiments, food for thought, just to think in another perspective. Maybe some wiser people long time in future will think about it and use it like a bit of a puzzle of a real thing. Yeah, so I'm just doing the same thing as everybody wants to do, to affect reality, make it positive, and like be special in some kind of way. So yeah, this
And
is a first introduction.
yeah, that I guess given the framework of what you're saying, I have this it's like a secondary question that I can already tell isn't like vital to know, but I guess I'm curious about it. So are we kind of like, so when you say goals, and we'll get into that stuff, but in terms of
Mhm.
storytelling, are we some kind of like avatars for some kind of the director's pleasure or artistic expression, or is our goal like like am I here and are you there, or is the thing or the fourth dimensional object here at the same time in two places talking to itself?
Yeah, this is the greatest speculation, yeah, that bothers everybody minds. I like to, I like, I want to find this visualization of what are you saying now, yeah, when I'm thinking about all the time, in the most proper way. But yeah, it looks like we are applications on the smartphone, or we're like a gloves, yeah, so of something that has a first primal fundamental intention and input in all this stuff. Yeah, so yeah, you're a glove of yourself, I'm a glove of myself, and this interdimensional stuff penetrates you and uses you in time and space to operate. Yeah, important thing that guys, for sure, if they exist, they don't have this ability to represent themselves directly, yeah, in this world, as we cannot represent ourselves directly on the sheet of paper. Yeah, we can draw, we can destroy it, but we cannot make an interesting story inside without getting inside. Yeah, without putting our pen and starting drawing on top.
Bro, my
So
my
these
mind is
guys,
melting. My brain is
oh,
melting.
I'm
This is
just so and how this is. I like your reaction, so I see
uh,
I finally got the response, and that makes me happy. And
yeah.
I
Yeah.
try to explain more interesting.
So
So yeah, let's come down.
no, just one more. Like this is because I feel like this information, I feel like our audience also kind of course, we have just random people who listen, but then there's this other kind of undercurrent of people that are hearing stuff that's very important for them. So I guess if someone is wondering, okay, this guy is making too much sense already, it's only been a few minutes. How do I He's not trying to sell me anything. So how did he get to this place? Like not in a like you don't have to tell your whole story unless you want to, which I would love to hear. But like
Mhm.
what were the moments or big like turning points leading up to you feeling comfortable exploring this in the like dude, some of the things you've written, like it seems like the amount of like I had to read them over and over to like I was like, I'm gonna think about this. Let me write some notes down. So I guess how did you get to this point that we're at right now?
Thanks for this question. It like makes me more valid and more valuable for myself when somebody wants to know that. So yeah, okay, I will tell it. I will try to be like short, some points, yes, that like distinguish me from other guys I see about it. So yeah, my first profession and the main one was a director. So I studied in the University of documentary movies. Yeah, and sooner or later, I made like movie clips. I'm from Ukraine, and originally all the stuff like television and like some production became popular when I just started to go to university. So this whole mass media thing in Ukraine started to develop the same time I started to explore it. And for that time, I made a lot of TV projects. I made some music videos, some scripts, like some famous stuff. But the most like biggest part of my work was to create reality shows. So I made few major, like it's called formats, yeah, like the types of shows in Western Europe. When you do like a research of like social research for the restaurants, for hotels, it was called Revisor, and it was like very famous. It was some next step when people not just like check the food or something, they like engage into whole process of creating restaurants and hotels, like get inside. Sometimes it's like health legal, yeah, but all the court and lawsuits are covered by the channel because these programs bring more money through advertisement than they spend on lawyers and everything. So it was very hard and very interesting time when I decomposed the reality. So like twice or four times a week, I went on location somewhere in the city, somewhere in a place when I did stuff with people that were aware of it. They didn't knew that they will cry, laugh, or change their mind or become criminal or something like in 1 hour, like following my script. So I never affected people, but I knew what they will do. I had to study what people will do in different conditions, in different situations, and that was the thing I sold through TV. Yeah, so when I worked there, so that was the original like gate into the stuff. So to make my work good, I needed to decompose it and to understand how it works and make it till Thursday. Yeah, and make it till Thursday till 10 a.m. because the TV goes every time. So it was a fun time, and that's where I studied how to learn how to do it. Yeah. Since then, idea of decomposing dramaturgy, getting to the point where you operate it well and better was my focus. Yeah, because we're talking words can be pretty, but the logics should be made from steel. That's like what my philosophical friend told me before. So we can speak about anything, but if this new knowledge doesn't bring any value to you right now, when you can operate with it and use it, it is not knowledge. It doesn't help. Yeah. So it's just good words. So the main point is how can we use this quantum dramaturgy, this computational dramaturgy in our lives? Yeah. Obviously, to learn how to make better stories, how to create better stories for your life, to detect stories of other people, to detect and set the goals. This is a very simple stuff. Many people make money on selling their online master classes. Yeah, just like finding the goal, finding the source. But you cannot like leave it behind. You need a goal. You need a proper set of goals. Yeah, that are somehow set and described. You cannot move without having a described goal. This is like a very sad and simple thing we all need to understand. Yeah, you need to set a primary goal. Like my goal is to live forever and be immortal. It's very hard to reach, yeah, but at least I will try to do it. There are ways to do it, yeah. To learn yourself how to do it, like a biochemist, to make a lot of money and spend this money on people who know how to do it, yeah, or promote it. So I'm like thinking for my chances, and I pick up like this money thing. I'm not such a good biochemist to make like some cure for being old, yeah, but I can produce a lot of money to invest in it. Yeah, so that's my way of doing it, and I hope in future, yeah, it will like top up my chances. Yeah, this is the main goal. Of course, there are a lot of other goals I start to reach.
So
So everybody should set this goal. Mhm.
there's one thing that I feel like, because I think especially from I mean, we've talked about high strangeness, and we've also like been to the same parts of the internet to just discuss like interesting things. And right now, even when you're communicating with me, obviously you're, because of dramaturgy and being involved in like media production, of course you're aware of like how to project your message. Like we're talking and it's comfortable, like it's nice. But I'm noticing that the thing that comes with a lot of other people, including like my contemporaries in like meditation or spirituality, there's a level of like, I'm gonna just go ahead and say like this energy of unhingedness, and not the kind that we're discussing. Like you're saying some crazy things, I'm excited about them, but it's feels safe. And it seems like this sim like so I guess I have to ask, do you find that, have there ever been points in this journey where you've been confused about reality and like on the edge between like, am I losing my mind? Is this real? Or has the
Mm.
journey been kind of smooth in terms of discovering this?
Oh yeah, also great question for sure. So, and I have the right answer. So it's not like losing your mind, yeah. Or so I luckily I was not affected by like a strong, I don't know, like mental disorders or like a depression or like some drugs or use or something like this. So I'm all the time mostly myself, yeah. So it's not something I'm affected by. So this is a great point. But yeah, it's not more about losing my mind, but more about losing this hope and this goal. Yeah, because something that every boy and usually girls also starting from 14 or 16 years think about: what is the purpose of life? Yeah, why I'm what I'm living for, and nobody gets a certain answer. So somebody gets like the answer: the religion is the way because father and mother tells such thing, or etc. So there are some explanations, but the hungry mind of every young person, if it's hungry enough, will find the way to understand it's not enough. Yeah, this is not the main answer. There should be something else. Yeah, because everybody tells different things. And so this is the scary part when you start to think, wow, maybe there is actually no sense. Maybe the source is some crazy stuff. Yeah, maybe it's not essential, or you're so pathetic that it breaks you. And I like to turn bad things into the good things. Yeah, when you have some disadvantage, the best thing you can do, try to turn it into advantage. Yeah. And I did the same thing on the time of like this style of depression when you're young teenager, yeah, when you're like 18 years old, you have some love experience and you lose someone, you find someone, you think about stuff that's always over. Yeah, the life is bad and it's critically like damaged and everything is so bad and everybody suffers. And this is the point I thought of this idea of watching the reality through the perspective of loser gamer. So if you imagine the life like a life as a game, you imagine yourself already lost this game. So this game is lost. This is like civilization style of game strategy, yeah. And you play in turns, and you lost. There is no way you will win, whatever win means. Yeah, you lost already. So nothing will help you to do something good and be in top charts. And this is the point this strategy comes in. You're lost, so you can do some turns of the game without fearing of losing again. So now, from the perspective and the point of view of a lost and absolutely destroyed and miserable person, you can still try to act because you're still alive, yeah, and you don't have to die right away and finish all this. So this is the lowest point from which I like pushed when I was like 18 years old or 20 years old, when I had this feeling. And this perception saved me for some times. Of course, I don't think directly as this for now, yeah, but this was a good, strong concept that like kept me, yeah. You're lost, but now it doesn't matter. You can try crazy stuff. You can try to be very like risky, but in my case, crazy stuff, not jumping from the roof, yeah, but crazy stuff saying some things or thinking some things that other people like don't accept. Yeah. And that led to some results. Now I'm in Bali. I have family. I have daughter. I have like a kids school of leaders. Kids I grow now. Yeah, and I have many businesses like hotels and restaurants and stuff. And so for now it's working. I don't know. It's fine. So I don't make. Mhm.
There's something, so I have to ask because this has been, I have a feeling that I've had a few other, I've been doing a lot of guests lately, like people who
Mhm.
I've never met before. And I've I'm 32, and over the years I found that my intuition earlier on in my life was pretty off. It was pretty like damaged from trauma and
Mhm.
conditioning, and I didn't really know what to think of someone the first time I meet them. Then over time, like in my life, like through like discovering myself, I became like a pretty okay person with myself, and when I meet someone, I instantly feel something when I'm around them. So in this case, we're not even in person. And I instantly from the beginning, I was like, I want to just start recording right away because I just want to start going. But I also do that when I feel bad energy sometimes because I kind of want to
Mhm.
go into the story. So in this case, when you're saying that you can try crazy things. So let's say I'm at any point in my life. Let's say right now I've like recently a long-term relationship ended. Like I was engaged and suddenly I'm not, and I'm like mind blown, all the emotions that you can imagine from the like
Absolutely.
listening to Adele, all the stuff, then
Absolutely.
also like, but
Correct.
I guess I'm trying to understand when someone's trying crazy things, or when you're trying to do things differently to go forward, are you supposed to, what is the formulation method, or how does one, so like let's say I'm putting myself out there and we can use me as an example.
Mhm.
I'm already so weird, so how do I be weirder than weird, or how do I think differently than what I'm so, I even feel set in my ways in a sense that I'm like, oh, I can take deep breaths to calm down. That's how I calm down. So, so what would be like something someone like me who's set in their ways, but in a not really a negative sense, but you're trying to like switch something up. So what would be like a practical application?
Great, good question. Let's use you as a sample, if you don't
Yeah.
mind. It will be great. Yeah, and let's do some quick diagnosis. So I will like verbalize my thoughts, yeah,
Yeah.
and we will get to it together. So you had a long-term relationship. You don't have kids, yeah? No, you have
Uh,
kids. You have a kid,
I
yeah.
have a son, but not with the person I was with. So
Uh, okay, so yeah, you're like experienced parent
yeah,
from before, yeah, from
he's
previous
12.
stories. Okay,
Shout out Xander. You
great,
have
great.
one
My
kid?
daughter is 8. Yeah, my daughter Alice, she's 8 years old
Yes.
now, and it's like
We're we're
wonderful. Yeah. So
we're veterans. We're veterans now.
yeah, yeah, sure. I'm 38, 38, so I'm a bit older than you. So yeah, okay. Let's examine the stuff. You have this like very um, big amount of feelings and memories, constructs, mind constructs connected to the person you
Yes.
were together, yeah. So this is obviously the reason. So now you're sitting here, that person is somewhere out, and if all not all that, you would be like a clear person and everything will be
Yeah.
fine, yeah. But you have constructs, yeah, that stick to your idea of, no, let's call it moral compasses, yeah, stereotypes and moral compasses. You have a set of stereotypes, yeah, and moral compasses. If you were like another person, then maybe some person exists that just say like fuck it, I don't care, yeah. Maybe such hearts and like stone people exist, yeah. You're on some level of it, yeah. And the same, you're on the same level of every attitude kind to a person and to yourself and to the world. So you feel acceptable when somebody pushes you with a finger, but not too much, yeah. But when somebody starts to hitting you, you're ready to be angry and ready to answer, yeah, for instance. This level when you're ready to react to some points, yeah, are computational, mathematical outputs, results of something that happened to you starting from the childhood, yeah. Here comes this, I'm sorry, yeah, so it will be long, but I remember the main
No,
question,
no,
so
no,
let's do
no,
it.
that's
Yeah,
perfect. Keep
I
going. No, no,
remember.
no.
Mhm. So I absolutely remember the question, yeah, and we'll getting there because there is no strict answer, yeah,
Oh,
but we can. This is something I will tell you, like, will help everybody to see themselves from the side, yeah. So everybody knows about psychiatry and Sigmund Freud and other guys. I read all of them because I was very interested, of course. And the greatest thing, one of the greatest things they bring up is that, like, starting from birth, you gain experience that breaks you, that damages you, that creates your personality. No, and all the attitude and all the stuff we're coming to, yeah, to your personality with this gorgeous beard. Now, yeah, it's because you're there. Yeah, it
thank
came from the small boy that wanted it in some way. Yeah, we'll discuss it. So yeah, when being in the womb, mother's womb, you're like a god. Yeah, that's absolutely god state. You don't protect yourself. You don't feed yourself. You don't go to the toilet. You're just You're just dreaming. You don't see the world around. And the state of the mind, of brain, of person that's not born, yeah, is very highly likely close to the concept of clear god mind. Yeah, something that can think, can enjoy, and doesn't feel any bad stuff. Yeah, because everything is fine. Then the first triggers come. This is like Freud says. First things come when a child is born. It has to breathe. Yeah, it has to eat the mother breast. Yeah, and it has to go to toilet to defecate. And this is the first irritators of a real world that come. At first, kid understands that he is hungry, and to have food, he needs to cry to express negative emotion. He needs to cry, and sometime, yeah, the food comes. He doesn't even see anything. The person doesn't even see anything. It just knows that reality works like this now, from now on. Yeah, I cannot have food all the time. Now I feel bad. Yeah, and I need to ask for food. The same thing with defecation. If you don't go to toilet, you will feel your tummy hurt. Tummy starts hurting. That's where all deviations come when people enjoy like messing with poop and stuff, because the control of your body is the first thing that small child starts to control when they like become older. Yeah, the child can hold on the poop and like gain the control and feel bad, but then when he releases, it's fine. He feels better. This is the first thing he controls over his body, and this is only small start. Yeah, and after this one of poop control, yeah, and communication, eyesight, people start to develop the small bricks of world perception. If somebody is hurt in a childhood, highly likely he will have some kind of mental or other problems in future. Yeah, if you were like victimized, if you were like hurt by people around you, you have a trouble with your head, let's say. Yeah, you will have some things you'll have to work out. You will not be like absolutely happy, and you will have questions for reality. Why I was hurt? Why I felt so bad? Why this bad stuff happens in the world? Yeah, and etc. So you have your own brick system of these conclusions. Yeah, mostly most of them are the same in modern world. Yeah, so we're raised by parents. We had this like some level of comfort, etc. So we have this level. Yeah, but that then comes your special, unique way. In your special unique way, you got the feeling of what is truth, what is love, how much I need to believe to people, how much I need to relate to them, how much I need to give, and how much I can to get, when and at what manner. Yeah, let's say like this. You have this your personal map. In this map, you had the co-pilot. Yeah, when you're together with someone, you start to share things. Everybody knows when you're for too long, you even look the same. Yeah, people are different, men and women, but they look the same because their mimic is the same. They say the same words or something like this. Yeah. So we're, if looking from this fourth dimension, fifth dimension, we're like getting into each other. so many storytelling, story creating stuff, yeah, constructs are joined, that when you separate, of course you feel this wants, yeah, you feel these disconnections. Oh, now I will not drink with your coffee. Oh, now we will not plan the dog we wanted to have in future, yeah. So many stuff inside you have that connect you to that idea, and you cannot work it out through just your ego power, your brain power of stop, man, yeah, let's forget about the cup, the dog, the sheets, yeah, the like schedule, vacation, and everything. You can do it, yeah. Only thing you can do it's obvious, is to like rewrite and adapt, yeah. That's why the simplest advice, yeah, to focus maximum on
I'm
something different. You're doing it, yeah. You're doing it right now.
sorry, there's so the reason I asked you this and I mentioned before we started that I
Mhm.
guess we started communicating like a month ago maybe, but we haven't actually talked that much. I've just read a lot of things you've posted. And the reason I asked you the question about myself was that I read your stuff about a month ago, I'd say, over a month ago maybe. And I started applying it to my own life. And
Wow, wow.
things got a little weird. Not in a
Mhm,
bad way. Not in a bad
mhm,
way. Just in a way that I was examining the storyline of my life or the dramaturgy by the things that you had explained or the goals, or there were even like scattered different posts, like just kind of mishmashing it together. And I started noticing that in writing my own story, much like trying to write down like a little journal entry or something, if I have like pain in my back or my son needs food or the dog's barking, I get interrupted and I'm getting deviated from the goal of the writing. So then when examining my romantic relationship, I noticed that there was some kind of interference in the writing, in the writing of the romance. And I was like, who is this guy? Why does he know what's happening? Why is everything on Reddit? I don't know. So I guess in reference to that, when you're writing your own story, is the interference or the deviation, could it be caused by someone also writing at the same time? Or is it that it's just disconnected and the stories are parallel to each other?
mhm. Oh, this is my also one of the favorite things to think about. Yeah, I'm thinking about it in this or that way sometimes, and few approaches maybe read about. It's like, for instance, child and father and grandfather legacy. Yeah, of of how it's called when things get into the in another things. Yeah, when things are overlaid by another things. So yeah, um, we're all overlaid in some sort of way. We think we're separate person, we're separate people, but looking from the another perspective, higher perspective, we're only an overlayment of these reactions, yeah, of people, of different people. Um, that was the point. That was the
Yeah.
main point.
So then So then that's a bit so in the moment when you and I are talking, but there are other people, like I live in an apartment building,
Mhm,
and then there's other people in your building right
mhm.
now where the co-working space. Are those people, even though they're not trying to, is their story directly affecting ours in this moment?
Yeah, yeah. So look, this is great thing to come to the set theory. Yeah, like set theory is the basics of like mathematical approach to the world. That were people that sitting behind me or like some people around you are in a set of people sharing similar specialties, similar things as you. Yeah, but till the certain point. So if I don't know if uh, something happens, yeah, we will act the same. We all need toilet, food. We stay here. We have hands and legs, so we share this similar things, but we don't have to be connected. Yeah. Only thing when you find the person that's more into your ideas or like you like the person, that only means that you have more shared connections with him. Yeah, shared things you even don't know. This strange thing that happens when you feel your relative, yeah, feeling bad or dying. Where does it come from? So how can we, in modern science, how we can explain the situations that you feel, and you have a dream about grandma that died this day, yeah, but you never thought about her till this day, yeah, for your grandma. How it happens? Many people detect something similar as this, and this might be because of this big clusters of stereotypical information. Yeah. So, and only thing I can imagine is some kind of glitch. Yeah, when you have the story of your grandma and story of yourself stick together, yeah, at some point, and at the moment when grandma dies, so much things become impossible. Yeah, that it's like has some kind of shockwave, yeah, to your existence. So you could call her, you can make pancakes with her, you can tell her you love her. Yeah, now millions of things fall. And of course, you have the stress, and outside in subconsciouses, while you're dreaming, you feel this feeling of your grandma. Yeah, that's like the last goodbyes. It's health, mystical health, like not of course it's not confirmed, yeah, but we observe it. We see such things. Yeah, people think about each other. It's not like detected so much. You can make an experiment and confirm it over and over again. So there are no, unfortunately, there are no real psychics. Yeah, there are no real people that can see behind the plate. Yeah, because there are like tens and tens of set prizes in the world by different journals, yeah, guys, and nobody like can actually do it in the way to become the new Jesus Christ. Yeah, why not? It would be great. So something exists, but it has a much tender and much unique way. So it's not work like you just can predict and say what number is written on the papers it's written down. Yeah, unfortunately, but we feel something is there. So this set set of us being us, it's hard to think about only one thing because despite set theory, we need to hold in mind the entropy. Unfortunately, yeah, this fundamental thing that makes our story working only one way, directly and forward. Yeah, and only when you train yourself to hold on so much concepts together, you're capable to have a little extra thought, yeah, that you never had before. Yeah, when you understand how this one works, how this one works, yeah, when then you make some series, you continue to think, you get to the conclusion.
So would you say that if we were like looking at like an ancient like kind of parallel to this conversation, then someone would say like, oh, well, you could look at a mystery school and they combine a lot of different concepts to form a better understanding to achieve like some kind of gnosis or some higher self. So in in this case, in this case, when like how do you think there's a reason that this is not a commonly discussed way of thinking, even not even the dramaturgy thing, but even
Mhm,
developing a framework for success that isn't rooted in, let's say, like capitalism or like brute force or
mhm.
something like that? Is is there a reason this seems to be hidden? Because it's occurring within all of us. So I'm kind of like shocked because everything you're saying makes a lot of sense, but then I'm like, if he knows it, then of course, and he's talking to me about it, then either this is a very special moment in space and time, or there are also other people around us, so my ego doesn't go crazy, who are aware of this and using it to some degree in their life.
Mm. Great explanation. Absolutely. You started from the ancients, yeah? And it happened, it all happened in ancient times. And it's not like a mystery and not like ancient aliens or stuff, but it's a real fact. Now we're used to things that people like 2000 years ago were like stupid, yeah, or not so clever, yeah. But more wise people, I think yourself for sure, know that like all the stuff like democracy, philosophy, and very highly complicated relationships were developed that times. Yeah, so they just didn't have computers, technology, electricity, yeah, and it's like industry. But the way people thought was quite progressive and like the same level, same power. So we were always been us as long as we can see in past in our ancient history. That's all. So I'm not talking about aliens, panspermic theory or something. Just the
Hey,
text. What we can.
this is, I was behaving, I was on my best behavior. You said aliens first.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah, yeah.
now,
In in a context of not talking about them. Yeah. So I'm not. We don't even need to set a reason of
okay.
human existence on Earth. Yeah. So this is a great point. So we don't need to think now. Yeah, about whether it was aliens or just very boring evolution steps.
I
Yeah,
see.
of life creation.
I have, this is a crossroads, and I'm gonna let you
Yes, please.
choose. One choice is I have some questions about you, and they're very micro scale, but I think they could help
Hmm.
people. And the other uh path is very meta, like super far reaching. What would you like to talk about first?
Um, so I can finish about this ancient guys, but
Yes.
if you have time,
No, I
let's
have I
follow
have
the.
a lot of time.
Uh,
I'm ready.
Okay, let's follow the logics here of our story. So I will tell a little bit about ancient guys. I think I just
Yes.
one
Yeah.
interesting insight, and then we'll come back to questions about my small story, and then we will get to the big stuff. Yeah, okay, like this. So the one short insight about the ancients, yeah, that there were same wise, is when I just traveled like a child, like a kid into Luxor, this Egyptian temple place, yeah, and I saw these big columns that are covered with science, with advertisement, and I just had this thought at that time that wow, if this was like flooded advertisement spam place, it would be maximum effective and the maximum spaces are represented. So when you're an ancient person coming through Luxor temple, you walk around these mighty columns, yeah, and you have scripts, you have like information, advertisement of some concept around them, and you're like so astonished, and you're like forced by these 40 meters columns, yeah, and you feel this is the truth. So the point is, long time ago, we don't even know when people got to the point, and the most clever people became preachers and pastors and servants of the temple. Yeah, this ancient Sumer civilization, we can see the cities started to evolve around concepts, around the ideas of some forces, some god that protects, governs, or just gives a name for the certain people at certain location. Yeah. So this idea of what we all people do together at a certain spot, yeah, is like primal. And first people thought of this, and then we came to all this. The bad thing is Universe 25 experiment about the mice. Yeah, when we have this
I
mice
can still
put.
hear you.
Okay, I will continue. Yeah.
Yes.
So the Universe 25 was an experiment with a given space where mice were put, and there were a lot of food, water, and everything, no predators. So it was a heaven for mice. But the only thing that happened that all generations didn't change. The old generations of mice didn't didn't die because of the natural cause, and the young generation of mice in a perfect universe, in a perfect heaven world, didn't have place. They were aggressively denied and attacked by the older mice. So the place with enough food and like protection for everyone, but with lack of space, led to the like everyone was dead. Yeah, so this colony was dead all the time. Every time this colony dies because the older mice that got to the source of food and just happened to be come before, yeah, suppressed it and like stopped all the future generations. Every time, what happened through the young generation? Young generation became they lost the sense. These mice lost the sense and the reason to live. Female mice tend to cooperate and stay in one nest and don't give birth to children. Male mice were called pretty mice by the scientists because everything they started to do is looking for themselves. They started to look very nice. and don't have any sexual interaction with other mice at all. Yeah, they just become to clear themselves and have a great outlook, and that led to the death of the colony. Yeah, so nobody wanted to give birth to a new generation. The old mice stayed in power. We have food, we have everything, but we don't have together. So something similar, but in of course larger and more complex way, is happening to the society all the time. Yeah, to different societies, to different worlds. Like let's see the Maya, Inca, yeah, the separate world in America. Yeah, till some point, it had a chance to evolve and develop. Yeah, but all the time we have this press from older generation, from people who already into some stories. You're coming into the life not from the start. Yeah, you're coming when somebody is here already, and they bring the narrative. If you are born in USA or you're born in a like tribe or in Africa, it's a bit different life. Yeah, it's a bit different narratives, a bit different world perception, and this is the whole point. So all these things that people do from the start is this conspiracy stuff. They try to affect and make other people think the way they think. So it's also some kind of natural. All we want to
And
do is make it. Hmm?
and is that the thing you just said? Is that their dramaturgical goal to control, and they're playing out
Yes.
that story?
So here we come to this one small hypothesis I came over, and I can prove it to anybody who says he's not agreed. So every every separate consciousness person, in our case, would like, in the best conditions, in the perfect conditions, would like to take over all the world and bring your will. So there are two statements. If you would like, if you can, would you become the wisest person in the world? If it's possible, why not? Yeah, it's a good intention.
Yeah.
Will you become? Of course, I will become the wisest person in the world and wisest consciousness if it's possible. Yeah. So, okay, I became the wisest consciousness. Now, what is my goal? It's something about making good. Let's tell it making good in general. Yeah, if not even getting to the point what kind of good, making something grow, something better, something happy. Yeah, make it good. But you're the wisest person in the world, remember. Yeah, so there are less wiser people that sometimes do crazy and harmful stuff. And so if you have the absolute wisdom and knowledge, and you have absolute power to do it, another thing it comes. So now you have the power. Yeah, what you will do? Of course, you will try to affect this reality that feels not comfortable. Yeah, you know, because you're the wisest. Yeah, that this is not the way. Yes, this is a freedom. This is a freedom of will. Everything. Yeah, but you clearly see if you can do something as the wisest person in the world. Yeah, to change other lives, other realities, and make it better. So your moral obligation is to do it. So if you have unlimited wiseness, unlimited lifetime, and unlimited power, best you can think you can do is affect as much as possible things around you. Affect everything in a good way. So everybody will benefit from it. Yeah. We just don't have this power. Yeah. You can affect what's happening in your head totally when you're sleeping. Yeah. But you cannot come out. You can just, we're talking. I'm trying to affect you. You're trying to affect me and the audience and so on. Yeah. We're all trying to affect the reality in the way we think is better for the reality. We don't think we want to destroy reality. Even if we want to destroy reality, like make some like crash some car. Yeah, I want to crash the car of a person that was bad for me, so I'm crashing the car with a baseball bat because this is a true and good thing to do, moral thing for me in my imagination to do. So this is, I'm doing the life better. Yeah, and like Putin is killing many Ukrainians because of this. Yeah, because he thinks he does life for people better this way. So we all have this compass, moral
So
compass.
that that was really that kind of is a very interesting way to now look at because that's essentially what world leaders say, right? Like, I mean well, and the only way to achieve this change is by killing this many of insert group here. And
Yeah, and
as
we
soon
have
as you said that, I'm I'm wondering like, and it goes back to what you said, that there are no bad people. So then even in the crazy conspiracies people talk about, or talking about like just general oppression, those people, their goal isn't like, I want to oppress this person because the oppression will make me feel good. They're like, if I oppress these people, there will be a net positive outcome for me somehow.
Yeah, except of deviations. Yeah, when you were oppressed in a childhood so much that you found a form of no, being sadist. Yeah, sadist. When you're sadistic, when you feel the need of doing some bad stuff. Yeah, because this is the only way your crooked mind, your inflated mind, yeah, can solve this problem of yourself. So no, usually you were abused, and that's why you want to abuse, to make the truth, yeah, so like, to make the like this balance. You were abused and you feel you need to abuse, yeah, like the child growing without a father, yeah, usually has some question for the father figure, and has some question for all the world around. And in school, like I have a kids school, so I have this kids growing, and I see their pattern. I do some my own mind experiments using what I see in kids. I see kids who don't have father, they constantly want to show how they're opposing this system, how they're offended. Yeah, they can scream, they can fight, only because they don't know why. When you ask why, they say, I don't know why. Yeah, but we don't know why, because of course they have bad feeling, why they were left by their father. Yeah, why they have to be alone. So that bad people can do very bad stuff, yeah, because they find it logical and right thing to do, right thing for reality to act. Yeah, like a preacher. It's a great mind experiment. Um, Either preacher is believing that he is preacher of the God, or preacher is a scammer. It's the same thing. It's absolutely same. Why? Because in the case when preacher is real preacher and he feels God in his head, he like translates the will of God. And in another case, when preacher is a scammer, he has this kind of thoughts in his head. He thinks that people are stupid, and they like ask for it. So he's in his power to make more power and more money for himself using the stupidness of people. And this preacher thinks it's okay. This is like a God's will for me to become better and have benefits from people who are naturally stupid and dumb. And so it's okay for me to fool people as a preacher, yeah, because nothing of this crap about God exists, and it doesn't matter, yeah. They don't understand. I understand. I have advantage, and I have a right to make use for myself, or even for them. This is the best part, yeah. Or even for them, they're stupid. There is no God, but I will tell them that there is God, and use this power and money they give me to make their life better. You see? So the good preacher and the bad preacher just follow the idea. They preach the idea of existence or not existent God, and the real existence of God is out of this formula. It doesn't affect the real result of preacher preaching to you. Yeah? And we cannot get there. We cannot get more and higher than a preacher, than people talking to each other. Yeah, me talking to you and you talking to me. That's all we can get. We cannot get to the source.
I
Yeah.
literally just got a message, and my immediate response was your name in caps. I'm sending him here ASAP, because that's the server for this chat, this the
Mm-hmm.
podcast, our Discord. And I feel like what you were saying at this point, I'm wondering, so in the dramaturgy of your last statement, I was immediately, I wanted to put it into action right away, almost eagerly.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, I guess this is the micro scale question. Who is this moment for? Because I feel very rewarded. Like, I'm so happy that somehow our paths crossed on Reddit. Somehow you exist. I haven't even heard your
Oh.
story yet. I don't know who your parents are, who raised you to be this
Mm-hmm.
way. Like,
Thank you for these words.
so what is, when a moment happens that's fulfilling or good, is this happening for some greater good, for my literal, just like my silly little pleasure, or to you, what is happening?
Oh, this is a great thing, and it is like some like yellow title. Yeah, we are the same person. You and me were much the same person. So you have this constructs inside that I have also, and we're in such way the same. Yeah, that we tend to pull together. That's what happened. So I was looking for something that you were radiating. Yeah, you're looking for people. You're basically doing interviews. Yeah, and you're looking for some truth and some things to think. That is my framework also. So in the world of same things happen to tend to move towards each other. Yeah, we are moving towards each other. It's just like myself speaking to myself. I would love to have this gorgeous beard. It's like my second life. I would do like this for sure, and I would do this podcast. So one of my stories, I would do things you do, and one of
And
your stories, you would do things I do.
so then to go on this tangent further, let's say, and I've asked people this question before, so you can take your time. But if you were to like stop talking to me right now and just be like silent, what happens in your head?
About exactly this moment, yeah, or like how this
Just like, well, I asked someone and
yeah,
and they were like,
I
I
know.
I don't know what's happening right now because
Oh,
they
oh, I can describe easily. So only thing is that's happened is the process of connecting of five senses information income every plank step of now moment. So what happens? My brain machine, yeah, constantly every minimal bit of reality, every step gets this inputs and tries to refer it to the library of the stereotypes, concepts, information, ideas I have in my head. It refers it connects it to the stereotypes and checks what I'm thinking, I like, what is my experience, and gives back the result. So when I'm just sitting and doing nothing, yeah, unfortunately or luckily, I still see. I can close my eyes, yeah. I still breathe. I can close my nose, yeah. I will still feel the air. If I go to the chamber where I don't feel the temperature in the water chamber, yeah, I forgot the name.
yeah,
When you float,
sensory deprivation.
floating, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So when you do sensory deprivation, what happens? Yeah, you lose your mind. You basically lose your mind. You contract to the condition when you're just a mind, just a thought, but without inputs of our senses. It's hard to maintain in one piece. You start to lose it sooner or later. You lose it, yeah, you lose this mind. So every moment of now, just sitting here, yeah, I'm result of computation of input through my sources, yeah, coloration with my library, and giving action commands. We continue to sit. I'm sitting here, I'm fine, I continue to sit.
So then if let's say I can like one of my other friends, let's say they would say like, well, when I close my eyes, I don't see anything. Or I have and they insert some diagnosis and they're like, oh, my thoughts go everywhere. I'm always thinking about my rent or something like, or I'm always thinking about my art or what I'm gonna paint next. So do you have a
Mhm.
kind of does your brain have like a character? Like, are you like a nervous guy? Are you excited? I almost can't tell. Like, I don't know what the
Mhm.
inside is like.
Hmm. So for personally me, I like to view personality and like my consciousness as subsets, yeah, subsets of personalities. So there are many ways to see yourself. I will tell you. I have very interesting story about it with a person who worked with subsets for 30 years, and he is here in Bali. So I have some like very fresh and interesting information about subsets. I will get to it. So the first I read the book Minds of Billy Milligan. Maybe you heard about this person. Billy Milligan is American first case of having multiplied personalities in his head, 28 plus personalities in his head, that were studied by a doctor for many years, for with many doctors. And his case was like strange. One of his personalities made a murder, and through the long term of like the justice system of America, with the help of this doctor, he was told to be like free of charge. He wasn't put in prison because only one personality made that murder, and other personalities are not in this in this, yeah. And this is a mental state, mental condition, and this person, Billy Milligan, was first to like put to the clinic and not to the jail, yeah. Many people at this moment live with multiplied sub personalities, yeah, but his case was very great and I like it. So what we have, we really know that sometimes due to some damage or something like this, brain can work like a separate personalities, yeah. Billy Milligan's personalities were very different and very great. One of personality had British accent and was aristocrat and philosopher, and he was very wise. Another person in his head was a Serbian guy who was fighting and had extra strength. Yeah, he had super strength, basically. He had guys who picked locks. He had, of course, child personalities that were pressed and like were offended. One of the child personality was the personality that always dealt with stress. If he has pain or some bad stuff happening to him, he pushes forward in the spot. He called it putting in the spot. Yeah, some of personality comes to the spot of clear mind and rules the body. So when he got hurt from his childhood, he always put this person, this baby, in the spot, and this baby always felt the badness. He grew with this personality. Some of them were women, some are men, and his main personality, Billy, was shut inside of him for many years and was let out for only few times, like per year or something like this. So the worst struggle was he couldn't remember what he's doing. Yeah. So if British aristocrat goes through the day, then he switches to another guy. This guy doesn't remember what he did, and he starts doing what he wants to do. So his behavior was chaotic, yeah, and strange, but through his life, he found the way to work with all of them. They started to communicate to each other. They shared the time, and basically, this doctor led him to pressing his main sub personalities to one. He called it a teacher, yeah. And more time, this Billy become to behave himself, feel himself in a state of a teacher, of a one person, yeah, more or less glued together. After some stress he had in his life, this personality broke apart again, and many personalities came back. So I like to view myself, yeah, and ourselves as these subsets of personalities because we clearly see they exist, yeah. But in our case, your and my, we are very good people, interesting people, but our sub personalities are boring. They're the same, yeah. My sub personality of skater and of like scientists are same, but only skater likes to skate, yeah. So when I go to skate, I start to like work out for 10 minutes, and bam, I have this feeling. My skater goes in the spot and I enjoy skating, yeah. Then like when I talk to people, if I feel myself not comfortable, it's maybe the skater guy is in the spot, yeah. And then I change it to when I hear some good advice from you or I see your reaction, I feel good, and I let my critic, yeah, or my like wise man, yeah, in the spot. And now my wise man is speaking to you, and he's not same as a skater, yeah, but he understands what to do. So I like to think like this. So I feel, and I found out in myself that there were a personality that was like, basically even, I don't know, raped by other personalities. So I had some personalities in myself, the things I felt bad about, yeah, because some of personalities were child personalities, were very pressed and very like hidden. And my love to piercing or to like tattoos, many people have it, yeah. It comes from this hidden desire of taking the pain, yes, just like making some like mark, yeah. So getting through something, showing yourself you're not afraid of the pain, yeah, of being changed or something. So it's a big topic to investigate, but all that is a part of some personality of you, yeah. You don't always want to hurt yourself, yeah, or to risk or to try to do the kickflip like on the edge of the building, yeah. But sometimes you still do it and you need it. So this relation between these subpersonalities is something that makes the constructive point. Yeah, if I mostly feel good in my life, this is a psychological term. How to find if people is good, how to understand if people are morally stable. Yeah, they're like healthy. There's not such thing as healthy. Yeah, mind's healthy. There is a state when you feel yourself good. It looks like you're acting good. You don't tend to die because of this, and you feel great. Yeah, and you still may have some problems in your head, some bad things happening, but if in general your life is positive and moving forward and you feel more good about it, that means you're like mentally healthy. Yeah, and that's all. It's only a name for very discrete state that cannot be the same all the time. You're not good or bad, healthy or unhealthy. Yeah, you're some kind of mixture of that feeling coming from sub personalities, like in one way. And this is less sentences. My friend who is practicing this work, psychological work with sub personalities, did a very interesting thing. Usually, you need a lot of hundreds, thousands of dollars and years to get into the psychological practice and to cure yourself. Yeah, working with sub personalities, it takes time, but there is a new way to do it when you mesh all your personalities in a one sub personality and think of yourself as of only you ego, and all other subs meshed together in a silly way. So you even need to give a silly name, yeah, to this person that describes all your weaknesses, all your in confidence, yeah, all things that you see are not you can be mixed and meshed up together to one personality that is in your head, and you can start to create this dialogue of your own you with this silly and not confident and not great sub of yourself, and you can find many things that it want to tell you and you just didn't let it to tell it for something like
So
this.
this is weird. It's so relevant to something I thought today, and I think it's good to ask you from a dramaturgy standpoint in the technical sense, even if someone's an actor and the actor speaks one language, but it's like they have two personalities. One is in their one language and one is in the other language. And I noticed that in myself, like I speak Urdu and I was talking to my mom and dad, and we usually speak English, but I was speaking in Urdu and they were just cracking up. They were laughing so much and I was being silly and making jokes. And then during the conversation, I had I was tingling. I was like, who am I? What's happening? Why am I so funny? And then I was like, oh, when I speak English, I'm more restrained and because comedy in English is different and in modern culture, like comedy has taken a different tone. So I'm not really so what is happening there, and how would you say, if I'm wondering how to bring that my funny side into my combine my Urdu and English speaking people into one guy, what would be the process?
Great how it's called, observation. Yeah, great observation you did there. So see your language, basically language, yeah, the tool you use, the construct you use, affects the way you're being funny or like not so funny, or effect of the way you're being you. Yeah, so that gives us thought that maybe this language, this realization of your intentions, yes, this verbalization, yeah, so this act of trying to affect objective universe, yeah, is modified and is viewed through this language more than you think. So it's more about the language, the tool, than about the source. Tool modificates it so much, yeah, it change the subject. You're a different person. You said a very great stuff, yeah. So you're a different person when using different tools. How can it happen, yeah? So rather it means that this different person sitting somewhere, yeah, and using different tools, yeah, or there is no different person and there is only tools. Both options are quite interesting.
The,
Rather you're some multidimensional source, yeah, or you're just the machine, yeah, or you're just a chemical machine that doesn't have anything under.
so, so I'm assuming you said you were Ukrainian. Do you speak another language?
Yeah, I speak four languages basically: Ukrainian, Russian, Indonesian, because I live in Indonesia, and English. And yes, this is the point. I write in English, yeah. So all my theoretical stuff, my hypotheses are written in English. So it's a different person for me. So I write only English. When I start to like try to speak with Ukrainian friends, I try to to imagine how they will say it all in Ukrainian, yeah, and it's a bit different. I have, of course, I struggle. So this is a person that works with these tools, yeah, and this is like my world with you now. There are a few other worlds around me, but I'm fine.
Yeah, that's interesting. So do you even just thinking about it now, do you think when you speak other languages you're slightly different, or you can express some ideas easier in those languages?
Mhm. They need they have other languages make you come back to some like structural elements of your thought, yeah, decompose them and compose them again in a new manner. So sometimes there are direct words and meanings in both languages that are the same, yeah, like run is okay, so it's enough to understand, yeah. When it's more complex, you need to refer to background, yeah, of the language, how it's usually done, yeah, recompose from the background and gives this idea again, yeah, so back. So it looked like translation, but basically it's reassembling, yeah, reassembling of your idea. So you just try to think about it in a new way. And another thing, of course, if you're used to use one words from one language, it's hard to follow your logic and your idea when you did it in one language to another one, yeah. So you basically cannot switch. I found it's hard to switch and so it's like separate research, yeah. I need to do separate research in another language, yeah? And it will come to the same conclusions, yeah, but it will have different passes for, yeah. And I saw this way of perception of reality, yeah. It's like not a mainstream, yeah. It's not a mainstream for sure, but people who love it are into it like over the head, yeah.
There's one thing that I think I read something you wrote about setting the goal. So let's say we
Mm-hmm.
are the hero in this story, and we're setting a goal, and let's let's turn it on to like the moment we're in now with the podcast. My
Mm-hmm.
goal originally was just to talk to my friends and keep a long record of them. So when we're old, we can look back at it and it's like funny. And of course, like sharing it means people will see it. So I really just believe that people's stories were interesting and I wanted to just tell them, even if they were kind of boring seeming to other people. I was interested.
Mm-hmm.
Like um,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't, I guess I'm confused because someone today mentioned something about me promoting the podcast. Like, oh, you could promote it in this way. And I was like, I'm not really trying to promote it. I'm just trying to make it better, I guess, for myself, like for like the sake of the process. But I wasn't really thinking about it that way. And then I realized when I was reading your stuff that for me, the goal is kind of to have like a great journey. But is that a goal? Can that be a goal?
Sure. In our psychological state, yeah, it's the only goal. It's the only goal. Yeah, it's very strange. Let's try to get over it. Yeah. A good sample is sex. Yeah, for instance, because sex is great in the process, not to the goal. This is a very good example of how the process is more interesting than the goal. Yeah, how the goal is the process. Yeah. So sex is the goal of the process, a clean one, clear one. Yeah. After getting to the goal, uh, you stop wanting sex. Yeah, at first. This is important point.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you from the past, you know you need to reach this point, and this point need to exist in order for you to have this enjoyment of the process of getting to the goal. Yeah. So in this case, absolutely, the process, yeah, is the goal. And now we're getting it more deep. And let's imagine that each goal is a process. Yeah, goal of getting to the croissant and coffee. Yeah, is you because I'm hungry. I want some sweets and I want to make a break. Yeah, that's why I go and get the coffee. When I'm done. I don't want more coffee and croissant and a break. Yeah, I just came there. Yeah, of course, sex is more interesting than coming to a cup of coffee. Yeah, but the process is the same. So actually, goal is in the process. You cannot set a goal and then, let's say, be out of the set of the system of this goal. Yeah, it means it's not in your system. It's not a goal. Yeah, goal is something you're thinking about. Yeah, something existed in your this process of unfolding, yeah, of reality. So you had some thoughts. You can forget goal. You can dismiss goal. Yeah, this is the greatest thing to describe uh, the states when you cannot let go some thought and you turn it over and over and become crazy about something. Yeah, you set a goal. You try to go to the goal to get it, but there's something in the way. You're scared, for instance. Yeah, you cannot get there. You wanted to jump over the hill, but you're not strong enough, and you're thinking about it over and over again, over and over and again, till the moment you forget about it. You say, I don't want to jump from this fucking hill. Yeah, and you forget about it. Yeah, or till the moment you will jump over the hill. Only these two conditions work. You cannot still wish to jump to this hill, through this hill. Yeah, not forget it, not to get to it and feel fine. You will, no, it's like I'm not a man enough. Yeah, and before you becoming a man enough, you're still thinking about it, and it's your problem. Yeah, when you decide, no, I don't want to be man enough for somebody, you forget about this thought. Yeah, and it doesn't bother you, or you're still thinking about it, and you have this idea, I'm not man enough, what to do, or I need to do this, or maybe this, and you then start to turn into the cycle. Yeah, but it will not work, so I'm not man enough, so what's happening? Yeah, and you have this goal but you don't reach it. You work through over and over. You need to reach it or dismiss it. You cannot keep the goal in this quantum state. Yeah, of state of yes and no. Yeah, you cannot keep it in a shape of a time crystal. Oh, maybe I will get to the goal and I'm a good man, or maybe I don't. Yeah, you can hold it on for some time, but not forever. Yeah, like feeding yourself. You want to eat, but you can hold on for some time, but there is a certain point when you need to eat, not to die. Yeah, so either you fulfill this idea or you dismiss it. You cannot dismiss the idea of eating. Yeah, or you will stop living. And the main goal of everything that happens around, yeah, for you every moment, the fundamental law is not to die. Yeah, so let's start trying not to die, and I will think of something else. Yeah, so I don't want to die now, so I breathe. Yeah, I sit here and not on in a volcano or something. So this basic thought, I don't want to die, I'm not dying, I'm not dying, I'm making myself not to die. It goes and goes and goes till some point you cannot reach this goal. Yeah, at some point you cannot reach this goal. Yeah, this moment you can, and in few seconds, because of certain conditions, yeah, like old age or like something else, you cannot reach the goal of not dying. Yeah, you're wounded and you're like bleeding and you're not dying. Yeah, and there is another game starting. Yeah, you want not to die. Yeah, now you need to cure yourself, go to the hospital or something. This is the main goal, and all the other goals are leveled one by one on the top. Maslow pyramid. Yeah, it's very, very great social stuff about Maslow pyramid. You think about not to die, having food, yeah, having shelter, don't have any like disease and then you think about self-realization, about your future generation. Yeah, then you start to think about, when all this stuff is done, you start to think about what should I do good for this world. Yeah, you become a messiah in some way. You become to mm, like get to the parts that's now important for you. Yeah, why America is all about alien exposure, and why I don't know, Ukraine, Slovenia, like some Serbia, they are not about alien exposure. Yeah, other things to think about. Yeah, Americans don't need to think about some basic stuff like keeping themselves alive, for instance. Yeah, and what, but they need to think about something important. It's important. Yeah, and politics effect and stuff. And now we have this question, yeah, on Reddit: if aliens will come, how they will look like, and if they will come, what will you say to them? How do you think, will they come, or they came already? How do you think, do they live underwater? Yeah, so this narrative, yeah, of discussing of aliens that might never be here. Yeah, but it's important because I discussed the situation with food, with diseases, with water sources, yeah, with toilet acceptance, and that's all. And now I can speak about aliens. Yeah, so that's the thing. What are you thinking about now? Yeah, I'm a bit lost here, but I think I I described few concepts
No, no,
that
no.
make people think.
I have more things to ask, so
Mm-hmm.
don't worry.
Please,
I'm
please, please.
um s- so speaking, I guess this is the meta thing that I wanted to ask. This seems like
Let's
a
get into it.
very like helpful, like I feel like it'll take me some time to examine my life through this lens, but I can see how immediately I can see where it's going, and it's already been productive in my life, or improved, helped me. But like, how would someone start applying this to their life in a non-vague way? Like if you're like, if someone's like, well, I don't see myself as a hero, like I get what you're saying, but like what should I do?
Mhm,
Because I have a, like, how do I start this? So how do they, what would be the process of flipping from a one, like a normal mindset to this other one for a little bit even? How do you
mhm,
exercise?
mhm. So the entrance point, entrance gate would be very easy and logical advice to decompose your questions, your stories, your goals, decompose your ideas to the minimum state it's possible for you to affect them right now, right here. So if you want to be a singer, you cannot become singer tomorrow, yeah, maybe, yeah, but you have some things you can do to achieve it, and you need to understand it, yeah, what to be. You need to sing great, have a good producer, have a good style. So you need to think of varieties of advantages you might achieve to be a good singer, yeah. Already we decomposed the idea of being a singer to look good, sing good, have a good lyrics, have a good producer, have a good video clip maker, for instance, yeah. Let's say you are good at making videos, yeah, so you have one advantage. You have one advantage, you can have very good music videos, or you look good, or you just sing good, or you need to study more and you will sing better, yeah. So you decompose it. For instance, let's think, need to sing, need to sing very good. You have this question, you need to find a teacher, you need to find the community to sing, yes, to sing better. That's the only thing you need to do. If you want to be a good singer, start to sing and learn to sing now, yeah, today, tomorrow. You start it and you see, oh great, this is a limit I can get to it, yeah. So I'm not Freddie Mercury, I'm not Beyonce, okay, this is my level, yeah. It's better than everybody else, okay. What else I can do from other spheres to achieve my goal, yeah. Okay, who can make me a video, yeah. How can I sing them, how can I make these lyrics better, yeah. My friend can help, or I will study and think about lyrics, yeah. We're coming back to the idea of getting to the goal in the most interesting way, yeah. Observers should be amused. This is a fundamental thing. Whatever we say, amused, disgust, or amazed, or horrified, yeah, or felt like happy inside. Observers should feel, yeah. When you want to get to something that will affect other people, you need to make them feel different from the moment they before they saw your thing. So you need to decompose these tools, what you have, to make them feel better, feel your way, and implement them. So when I'm sitting and I don't know what to do with my life, yeah, I want to be a good father, I want to have a lot of money, and I want to be a rock star, yeah. Great idea. Let's decompose all of them. You want money, how you can get there, yeah. Combine the idea of being a rock star with getting money. Can you get money from being a rock star? This is a hypothesis. You need to work it out. Yeah. There is another. You can get money if you like work with computer because you're good at it. Yeah. So you need to build the strategy of minimum steps of the size you can affect. Yeah. If you cannot learn music now, okay, what you can do? You can watch video about music. Yeah. Or you. It's a little bit easier. Watch video about music. Yeah. After 1 hour of watching music creation, maybe you'll have some extra thought, yeah, about it. So all the time when you feel you cannot work it out, grab it, what you cannot work out, and try to split it. It's like very easy advice, but this is a good one. Yeah, split it. Okay, you cannot work this out. Can you split it and work out some part of it. Yeah, at least you will see the insight, yeah, of the question, of the problem.
And obviously this is something that there would be no reason for us to try to convince. Thank you for your patience.
No, no worries. It's fine. It's a great day today, and I'm so like I like this talk very much. Of course, it's very interesting for me to talk with a person who actually understands something about life and not something like a lot of things.
So why would someone want to apply any of this framework to their existence? If someone is like in the modern setting of things, would
Mm-hmm.
this be to gain more abundance? Would this be to fulfill their destiny? What is the reason? Because I'm hyped about it, but I don't know why. I just know I have to
Mm-hmm.
do this now.
It's the main reason to feel more happy. Feel more happy. Like not in a way of metaphysical guru, yeah, and stuff. That's the point, yeah. Feel more happy about understanding what are you doing. So we don't understand what are we doing, yeah, and where are we going, and what are the goals, and we're not understand it, yeah. More you understand it, more happy you're about it, yeah. Because the matter is you're affecting it, yeah, and you're affecting things you don't like. If you can change all things you don't like to things you like, this is the goal, one of the shape of the goal of your life, yeah. You don't know what you like, or you don't know everything you like, everything you love, everything good. You don't know what is this, yeah. But you would wish this to be in your life, yeah. It's obvious, yeah. You don't wish bad things for you and for others, yeah. You want a good thing. You need to get there. How to get it? Understand what is happening. To understand what is happening, yeah, you need to research and decompose it and set the goals all the time. Something
And
like this.
why does it sound so this sounds much more, and of course maybe it's because I'm in my 30s and you're explaining it to me, but at the same time it sounds much more intuitive than the other ways that we are taught at school how to use this body and progress our vessel forward. It seems like the other way is unintuitive. And I guess, do you find in your research a reason for this like unintuitive thing being taught so much and being so robustly developed?
Mhm. I can see it. I can display it on explain on sample. Yeah. So I have this kids school. There's about 50 kids. It's starting from first grade till fifth grade, and there are 5 classes. And I see these kids and I work with these kids a lot. Usually we do projects, and like this school is called a school of leaders. Yeah, and this point of leader, yeah, is a good point we set on to describe parents what are we doing. So basically, we're growing leaders from kids to make them leaders. You don't have to be leader all the time, but you need to know how to be a leader to achieve uh, happiness in life. Yeah, not like being a leader every time, not being the main leader of them all, but know how to use it. So what I see, I use some practice. Yeah, I use some ideas, um, implement my ideas on these kids. Yeah, and they like love me. We have this relationship, and they just listen and they use it. So, and I can see the results. So, for instance, school theater. Yeah, when we're working with a school theater, um, I did absolutely new approach as for me to teach kids how to act in a theater. They don't need to learn any words, and they don't need to learn any scripts, any scenario. So we have quite complicated story, a kid's story, and first they were afraid. They thought, oh, we need to learn text, we need to remember. Yeah. I thought, no. What you need to do, you need to understand what are you doing. Understand what is the fun and interesting part about the story you're in. And I managed to do it. They don't learn words. When we go on the stage and I like act as a director with them, I just remind them like something very, very common. Like I remind them the text, but explaining, remember, you're a person, you're a child, you're a kid who is late for school. Yeah. And this is a teacher. and you explain to this teacher because you're late because you saved some kitten from drowning. Yeah, so they have a setup, the idea where they're getting. So they need to come to the teacher and explain why and like fool it in a funny way that they were lost. Yeah, that's the only thing. My kids, they every time they play this role very good at stage, but they use different words. They don't even use the same words. Yeah, I came to shore and took the kitten off the. Yeah, they will say, sometimes they will say, I came over the river, yeah, and I saw it on the river. And another time they will say, oh yeah, kids, this kitten was drowning, and not even mentioning where. Yeah, so they have the idea what they need to tell. Yeah, and they show it, perform on stage, and we have an excellent play. So I know it's not like something mysterious. Great actors do the same. Yeah. So when you like act like Hamlet or somebody else, you know the story. What happened? What is he up to? What is his relationship with his mother? What is the situation now? And when you're a good actor, you play the story, not the text. Yeah, not the text, not the info, not you play the story from yourself. So that is in theoretical things. The same thing about world perception. So I have these young boys, yeah, with different stories of their lives. Some are like have full families, so don't have a father or something, and I see this incoming problems they're coming with. Yeah, so this boy we talked about, yeah, is a boy who's blaming all around, who doesn't have father, so he like feels bad for everything, and he feels that he is abused. Yeah, and thing we need to do, we need to for him to understand the source of his pain. Yeah, that all the world around him doesn't have to suffer because he suffered. Yeah, this world doesn't cause his sufferings. So these basic things people don't think about because they don't think about it. Yeah, father went away maybe because mom bad and I'm bad. Yeah, maybe because we're not enough for our father. So this is a thing a young mind can make a conclusion. Yeah, you need to explain and understand. No, it's not about because about this. Yeah, because father is a separate figure with his issues and so on. Yeah, we need to work it out. It's like a psychotherapy, you know, in grown-ups. So implementing the stuff, it's like it's close to psychiatrical work. Yes, with yourself, self diagnosis. So it's very close to this thing, but we're just losing the scientific stuff. Yeah, we're just getting to the need of story to emerge. Yeah, this way or another way, you have to act, you have to feel something about something. Yeah, and it's not a question you cannot feel. Yeah, you can stop, you need to feel. And all we do is like a doctors on the battlefield. Yeah, we just implement some tools, some medicine to see how it works. Yeah, so my approach is to implement straight the idea that you're acting, this is a story, you're out of the story, you're like just a suit for this multidimensional being to work through story. So chill out, relax. You are not the center of the universe, you are not the backstage of the universe. Yeah, you're the active part of this process. Yes, something depends on you, something done is not relied on yourself. So decomposing these ideas more and more and more and finding your place there. So it makes you not feel stressed like for tomorrow talk. Yeah, it makes my kids in my school not feel stressed that they forgot something, they didn't make homework. Yeah, you don't feel like this when you understand what's happening. So what I managed to do, sometimes, yeah, kids don't understand why are they studying stuff. Yeah, they need to go to school because they need to go to school. Usually people think like this, no, yeah, to learn something, but they don't learn all the time. Yeah, they most of the time kids don't learn, they think about their problems, their ideas, their relationships. Yeah, and they don't learn. Sometimes with a good teacher who gives some interesting input, they are like have this situation when they are open-minded and they're ready to listen for 10 minutes, for 2 minutes. Yeah, and that's all it takes. I need like one window per day for each kid for 5 minutes for him to listen to me, for him to have some progress, yeah, in thinking. And later they implement the progress, and I can say my kids now, the kids, they are quite happy, and they came different. Some kids came like not speaking directly, not seeing you. Yeah, And when they see that reality works like this, that it's okay to express your thought, yeah, it should be built like this, they start to be more confident, yeah, they start to talk loudly, yeah, and most of all, they bring their idea. Um, I'm talking about school a little bit. I also want to give you some impression. Very interesting way how other schools or other guys, other people in the world can affect and very fast affect the child and adapt a child in a new community of children very fast. So I will give this life hack. I made this interesting YouTube show for kids that it's like health reality show. We do it on YouTube. When each kid in the school has alter ego name and superpower. So every kid chooses a superpower and a name. And what we do when new kid comes to school, we directly make a new video, make a new story, make a new like series, yeah, about it. So let's say one guy came, boy, we had a lot of girls, and one boy comes. He feels, you know, what you feel when you come to a new school. Yeah, you feel stressed about people, teachers, place. But I'm telling him, hey, buddy, we're acting. Yeah, you are not you. You choose this name and you choose this superpower. Now come to the school. I shoot the video how he comes into the school, yeah, and he's coming not confident. I say stop. This is the teacher. You're confident. We're playing. You're cool. Remember, we're playing. You're cool. Give high five to this teacher. Be more comfortable. Let's do again. Second take. He does again, and he goes in confident. Yeah. Then he comes to the classroom. He sits and he like miss sits, and it's clumsy and not interesting. Kids are laughing. I say stop, stop, stop. It's not good. Let's do again. Let's do again. And he is coming again. Yeah. Do it again. Sit again. He goes. He sits to his table, and now he's doing it in a good way. And all he has this impression of himself through the hero, and he feels great, yeah, because he's a hero. But we have the plot. Like this exact boy has a superpower of reading mind. So we did like this. He came to the school, all girls set apart, and teachers say, "Hey, hey, be nice to him." Yeah, he can read minds, and like he's super fast. And he says hello to all girls, and all girls, when feel that they have this voice in their head, start acting and freak out and acting weird. They all use their super powers to hide away from him. Yeah. And so, and this is a big play that comes to the end when they all together in the group. So one day, like 2 hours of work, yeah, new boy came to the this community, lived through his alter ego, his superpowers. All clumsy stuff were taken away, yeah, and we have a result, a video. Next day, this boy tells Mama, I want to go to this school. Yeah, I want to be there. I want to stay there. And we have the video evidence of of this action, yeah, of him being nice. I did it for now. I did it with more than 8 kids that came to the school. This time, each time it worked. So this fast forward integration of a new kid into the community, yeah, happened in one day through alter ego of kids show. Yeah, it's not me. I'm not in a struggle. Yeah, my alter ego, my just everybody knows Avengers, yeah, and superheroes. Oh, okay, it's his problem, not mine. Yeah, and kids are so confused and happy when they hear from me, hey, you can play not yourself. You can be a bad person or angry or strange. And kids, I can be not myself, yeah, and they're like very interested in this. How can I be not myself, yeah? And this is the first take because you are not yourself, yeah. You are not anything, yeah. Before you think you are, and before you form. So if some girl comes and she's strict like this because her friends say, be like gentle, be kind, like, and she's like this, and I tell her you can be angry, yeah. And this small girl, she chooses the superpower of not feeling the pain, yeah, and she become and super strong, and she plays a person who is super strong and doesn't feel pain, yeah, and she becomes this person in few months, yeah? In few months this girl is the leading acting, and she is like screaming and shouting and leading everybody following her way because she somehow merged with this alter ego she formed. She wanted to be more comfortable and more strong and doesn't feel some pain, yeah. She played it a bit, and then she get used to it, and she become partially as a kind of person. So yes, this method can work. It works better at childhood. It works with grown-ups also. Basically, it's a union of methods everybody use in this world, but it knows, yeah, like decompose the story to the simplest one.
but,
You heard about it, but you just don't use it
but
in your life.
j-
Hmm.
so hearing about, I guess
Hmm.
I'm very, so I am instantly like receptive of almost, not almost, literally everything you've said. So I even love that you have an acronym for God. Like it makes no sense. It's
Yeah.
insane. Everything is perfect. I go and this
Hmm.
all makes sense. But I guess I'm wondering that when it comes to kids, the way that you're doing it, I could say that like at times with my son, I've done things like this just to get him through a situation or something like that. And then when encountering like modern Western parenting, it seems to be almost geared towards letting kids fall into despair. As though, like, yeah, of course, they're like, once they're depressed, then we'll deal with the depression, as opposed to there's a way to avoid the whole thing. And
You're so right.
where's that coming from?
Hmm. Hmm. You see all these narratives and things that adults already have, yeah. So we're all of different cultures, but like living in the same time in the same world. So more or less we have this common narratives, yeah. That no, for me, for instance, yeah, I was born in Soviet Union, yeah. So till 7 years old, I just lived in another, and my parents and my grandparents who raised me, yeah, they had absolutely other idea about how world works, yeah, and what will happen in future. And this like no main things, main sparks, like feel, for instance, for this ex-Soviet Union people, it was a whole common thing to feel like down, feel every time stressed of seeing for the upcoming threat, and enjoy the little things. Yeah. So like all people who lived through the wars, like Second World War, they enjoy having small things. They cannot waste the food. Yeah. They cannot like waste the heat. They always will tell their grandsons like, why you're throwing away the bread? Yeah, you cannot throw away the bread. Yeah, there were times when we were hungry and we like couldn't throw out the bread. So the things that form us make us act some way. And what happens now? Oh, this is a big, all this conspiracy stuff, yeah, but it happens in such or another way. There are a lot of narratives, a lot of. Remember, we spoke about this temple guys, yeah, who run the temples. A lot of stories, yeah, happening now. Like ancient Egypt, I read a few books about ancient Egypt, and it were great. First, there were only a god of, let's say, like the moon and the sun and the death, yeah, for instance. And then another preachers, another temple workers needed their part of influence, and they made up the god of sunset, the god of sun dusk, yeah. Then new preachers come, new guys come, they need a new place, and they like discussed with these guys who run the sunset cult. They discussed maybe like let's make a god of despair, yeah, the god of strange feeling. This one approve, that one approve, they have money, they change, this temple is built, we have more, yeah. And you're like a user, you're into this world. First you were into this world, you had two gods, yeah. Now you're born and there is 1,000 gods, yeah, 1,000 cults, all have benefits, all have their own ideas. That's what's happening now, yeah. There are a lot of preachers, a lot of gods, a lot of truths, and you need to to follow one of them, yeah, some of them to live your life. And a lot of preachers, a lot of guys, trying to use it for good, for bad, for influence, for money, for reaching your goals, yeah, reaching these instruments. So what happens? There are more and more instruments, so we're becoming more and more depressed. The mind and the time we're living is the same, yeah. You have this 10 years of being a child, and this 10 years is needed to like learn the basics. Yes, then you need another 10 years to learn something till the university, and so on. So this stuff changed. The way people thought, the brain power of people didn't change, yeah, but change the the library of everything we already tried. Yeah, so we tried so much stuff. We tried communism. Yeah, there was a point in the history when communism was a very interesting idea. Nobody tried to do it in macro scale. Yeah, and everybody was fascinated in America and Europe, yeah. And Soviet Union was crazy enough to try, yeah. They tried for 70 years, and all communism-run countries, for now we can see, no, it doesn't work like this, yeah. All communist countries struggle, so it doesn't work like this, yeah. We had to try, yeah. We had to test, because we were not sure, can people work like this, can people let off all the personal belongings, yeah, the names and some other. No, we cannot, yeah. It's more complicated, but now we know, yeah. Now we have this communism in the list, yeah. In 100 years, if you stay alive, yeah, there will be more things in the list, yeah. And that brings all this stress, yeah. Your parents, your society has to like somehow work as a sommelier, yeah, has to compose some of the beliefs, yeah, and give it to you at the beginning, and you have to use your life to explore some of the beliefs. You cannot explore all, yeah, unfortunately. You can get into the biology and math, but you will not be into the like astrophysics, yeah. So you can choose the sphere, yeah, and the tools. And of course, this process of you doing it will affect you, and you will think about, if you are a mathematician, you will think about the world more in the way you're used to, and you know the tools, yeah. So that's the problem, yeah. And nowadays, more crooked and more bizarre and strange tools come into the world, yeah, like medicine, like this stuff when everybody is told to have some mental issues and subscribe to drug from early childhood, yeah, and all this stuff is also very, very, very strange. Yeah. Why it's done? Because corporations want money from selling drugs, or because corporations want to affect your mind, yeah, or because the big power has another thing. So we might never know, unfortunately. Yeah, we're living through it, and we will might never know the source of all conspiracies or main conspiracies. We'll have to feel about it somehow and act about it somehow. Yeah, and all the societies, all parents choose their strategy. Yeah, some of them say I don't do vaccines. Yeah, some of them say I do vaccines. Yeah, and this is one of the thing. Yeah, and nobody can be sure enough. Yeah, they have just their truth, and we just follow our truth till we die or change it. It's
I
more,
don't
yeah. Let's
I
come back to some more exact things. Mhm.
no, I'm literally just I'm trying to figure out how quickly I can edit this and upload it and get you onto our Discord server because I need you to tell this to as many people as possible. I'm
Wow,
I'm
wow.
gonna calm down. I'm gonna calm down, but I
Let's
feel
come
very
down.
like I feel very intense about it's so simple, but it seems so like okay, so how would this apply? But then it seems to be working for you, like as you said. So
Yes, this is the
it
problem.
um so in the obviously we've talked about the subject, but if we were talking about you as the person experiencing this whole framework, what does the what does life look like for you in terms of like your goal setting and your dramaturgical output?
Yeah, I already started to talk about it. Yeah, so I'm clear with myself, and I can confidently answer this question for myself. Yeah, and for myself, for this moment, the reason I'm living and the goal I want to achieve is not to die as much as long as possible. It's a clear idea, not to die as long as possible, and to
So
find ways not to do
s-
it. Same as Alexander. Mhm.
since you did mention that, let's and I have talked to other people about it on the podcast. So which aspects of like longevity do you personally like feel are going to pan out? Like, do you think like you're biologically going to be extended more likely, or do you think some kind of
Mhm.
consciousness remnant, or where do you stand on that? I'm
Oh,
excited.
yeah, yeah. This is more speculative, yeah, more and more
Yes.
speculative, but it's very interesting, and I also like to think about it. Yeah, few ways, yeah. The one that is like most obvious, and maybe it will be the first one to come, is um, digital immortality. Yeah, when you're immortal because of some way of your brain, of your thinking, of your consciousness, in this or other way transferred to a machine. Yeah, so the algorithms, the thinking process, this LLM stuff, large language models, they sort of show us that it's at least possible for machine to behave and act like a human. Yeah, I will tell you more about this because I actually have some experiments running forward it, and the whole how it's called roadmap of coming there. And I will tell you also.
Yes, I'm still
Are you connected?
recording. I'm trying to fix it.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I will
Sorry.
continue. Yeah, if it's something, you'll
Yeah.
just say. Yeah. If we're not recording, you'll just say. So yeah, the digital immortality is the first one. Yeah, the some kind of symbiotic, some kind of robotic future for changing our bodies is something else to consider, and some biological hacking. Yeah, when we know about the telomeres and the process in the organism, and we know some um, jellyfish and like some organisms that are immortal, yeah, in its basics, and can be immortal, so it's still possible. So either we get there chemically and biologically through genes, through working through micro world, yeah, or either we're coming there through our digital power and the digital sources. We can go there, and I have in mind and thought experiment of how we can do it in stages, how it's possible to be done, and most important, where is the what is the role of the soul of your something special inside you in this process. So this is something I'm very interested about now, and I think I know the exact location, size, and the properties of the soul in our body. So it's something to talk more to talk about. Yeah, I've written it in my book, but I will try to describe now about soul detecting. Oh, what was the point? I just thought about like 3 or 4 things at the same time I wanted to tell you about, and now I'm lost.
Said you had
I will
locate.
remember. Yeah, location of the soul. Yeah, and where it comes from. Uh, Oh, it will be different subject, but I will tell you. We were talking about the consciousness and about getting to the goal of being immortal, yeah, of being immortal and how to get there. Yeah, detecting the soul. Soul has to do something with this, some special our marker, our ID in this world, yeah, and we should somehow build the process of transferring our consciousness, yeah, to some immortal being. How it can be done? There is 2 ways. I'm practically trying to try it now. There's 2 things I'm doing now. The first thing I do is experiments with kids. It doesn't sound so horrible as it sounds. Experiments with kids. Maybe you know this famous rubber hand experiment. Rubber hand experiment is experiment you can see on YouTube when a person is sitting at the table. He puts his real arm under the table, and he has the copy of his arm, yeah, rubber, yeah, on top of it. And later, when somebody, his assistant, synchronizes the movement, yeah, he touches the hand and touches the rubber hand at the same time. At some moment, a person feels the illusion that the rubber hand that lies on the top of the table is his own. Yeah. So mind through eyes sees the movement of pencil or something, yeah, on the rubber hand. You feel the same movement on your real hand underneath the table, yeah, and your mind switches to the mode when he feels this is your real hand, yeah. This is all info, all practical tests I saw in internet. So I decided to do a little bit further. Something maybe it happened. I just didn't find it anywhere. So what I did it with kids. Yeah, in our project class. So it was fun and it was very interesting to do. I have this video. I will upload it soon. So idea was like this: we made this hand from clay. We made hand from clay. We put this clay hand and I did the illusion. Kids are very into it. So basically, when you move on the fingers, it's not so much. But the moment I move the pencil on the hand, on the top of the hand. Each of 10 kids I tested, each of the kids just switch into the simulation, yeah? So the moment you shape your hand, just move like this, yeah, a few times, kids are interested, so they are very flexible, yeah? So they're honest with me, so they're telling the real feelings, what they feel. They feel the hand. So now I have the same situation that people had before, yeah, in YouTube. But we move forward. We start to pick and make dots in this hand with the pencil. But what happened? A kid, see that he has a holes in the hand, yeah? The pencil goes 1 centimeter inside the hand. I follow the hand, yeah, underneath the table. What happens? He starts to feeling that like something comes inside his hand, yeah? So it try to hurt in some way. So he feels it's very strange, like he has a clay skin, but his real hand is inside that clay skin. Okay, so it's strange, but not so bizarre. Now we're moving forward. Then what we do? Then what I do? We come to the finger, and I start to press the finger. It's a clay finger, yeah, and press the real finger till the moment I really cut off the finger. So I cut off the clay finger, and the kid, it's not one kid, it's many kids, yeah. So it's like not one situation. Continue to feel the finger, continue to feel the finger, and when I move the clay finger, I move it away, yeah. It lights on the surface. Finger is moving away, yeah. When I touch the finger, brain still thinks you have this finger. I can move it very far away, but when I touch it, yeah, brain has a reaction. It still feels that you have a finger. That's only the start. The next thing, I take this finger and place it on the top of the hand. And on this moment, kid still feels his finger, yeah, but now he feels a certain strange hot spot on his hand. He feels a hot, and I move it here, this finger, yeah, the separate finger, and they have this hot location in the hand. After we stop the experiment on this moment, kids have some, like, like a small pressed wound. They have a feeling of a pressed hot wound on the hand, and it goes away in 1 minute or something like this, yeah. But that is not, and that is not the all. So the crazy thing, I wonder why. Maybe I just don't find the source, but I never seen it. But the craziest thing that happened is when I stop moving with my stop picking the real hand with pencil. I continue. Three girls, three kids were especially into it. They're like very responsive. I continue moving the pencil on clay hand, yeah, but I stop touching the real hand. I stop touching the real hand. I don't show the kids that I stop stopping, yeah. But when interacting with them, I have this video. I'll still do it. I ask, "Do you feel it?" Yeah, and I see the reaction. Yeah, I start to press, yeah, or cut, and kids still feel, and this is amazing. So at some point, you don't even need the physical synchronization of this illusion with the real hand to feel it. Yeah, kids still feel. They still feel. And when I extend, and what we did, we extended the finger. So one experiment was to cut the finger. Yeah, another experiment, I took more clay and I just extend the finger. Yeah, make it long, and they say, "Wow, I feel a long finger." Then I start to pick up the finger, the tip, yeah, and they still feel it. They say, "Wow, I have super long finger." Yeah, I start to tip it over. So crazy stuff happens. You don't have, so two things I have a result. Yeah, you don't have to stimulate both real and not real. Yeah, stimulation, and at some point stimulation continues. Yeah, relation continues. Yeah, and you have out of body experience. Yeah, this is a sort of out of body experience. I know guys did something similar with Oculus and with full body dummy. Yeah, so this is something I'm looking forward to do. But you can extend this feeling of transport of your arm to the whole body. Yeah, and so this is, we're coming to the questions. Yeah, so this was my first experiment. So there is a way to try to take your feelings of yourself out of your body and put it elsewhere. Yeah, that is a very good construction bit of being immortal. Yeah, you must agree that to be immortal in a machine, like in robots, yeah, you need to feel yourself there, yeah. And this might be the clue how to translate your feeling into the robot, yeah. Let's imagine this hand will be a robot hand, and from now on you will see it forever. So why not, yeah? So maybe you will follow
Dude,
this hand. Yeah, this is
dude,
one of the
that
experiments.
was no, as soon as you at the end, because I couldn't,
Hmm.
I still don't know exactly how it would tie in, but just I see what you're saying. It's a little disturbing, like the results
Hmm.
of your
Hmm.
experiment. I'm like, what? At first, with like the results in the middle, it was still crazy, but then at the end with the like they're just psychologically attached to a
So yeah,
thing
I
and
didn't.
feeling it.
Mhm. So I didn't hope to get this result. Yeah, I know stimulation, and I was having idea to extend finger, yeah, separate finger to see this things I didn't see. Yeah, but then I just tried not to stimulate the real hand. Yeah, and like the most the girls 8 years. Yeah, who are more like fragile, more connected with this universe. Yeah, they like the same thing with the teacher, with the female and male teachers of 30 years. Yeah, they have the feeling of the illusion, but not so intense. Yeah, they have the feeling of the illusion of the hand, but they cannot feel the separate illusion. They cannot feel illusion if I stimulate only the hand or on only the rubber hand. Yeah, only kids at my experiment, only kids like snapped into it very fast. Yeah, and kids can feel the rubber hand without. My three adults I tested the same day. Yeah, couldn't feel the rubber hand if I stop stimulating. Yeah. So the mind is more set up. Yeah. And kids' mind is less set up. This is only one. Do you want to hear about the second one? More philosophical
Yes, yes,
experiment.
yes.
Yeah. So this was a process of extraction your feeling of yourself to external body. Yeah. From start. And now let's try to extern your soul. Yeah. From your body. And this is another thing I came and just like thought about it for a few years already. And we can transfer the feeling of the soul only if transferred soul, if soul somebody out of your body acts the same as the soul is as in yourself. So I'll get to it. So like we're coming from the back door, yeah. So let's pretend there is something that acts the same as your soul, yeah. We don't know for now how it works, but there is something that's external, but it works the same as your soul. Yeah? Let's imagine it. How to get to the physical experiment? Let's imagine that your soul now a little bit of theory. Your soul is atom of space is a moment in your existence when you started to affect this dramaturgy, when you became a god. This acronym, yeah, generator of dramaturgy. You became a generator of dramaturgy at some point. We will not discuss now when, but at some point there were no you, yeah, and at some point there is you who affect the world, yeah. You affect the world through some time, and you stop affecting it when you die, yeah. You stop actively affecting it. But in passive way you still affect it. If like let's say you're a writer, yeah, or you're a singer, you sung a super song. After you're dead, many people listen to your song and change their behavior, yeah, their feeling. So you're still affecting people in future. So this dramaturgical effect of yourself on reality can be visible through the soul, yeah, through the active scene of your life, your active phase of your life. When you live and you affect, you are a god. You can create, you can go here, you can go there, you can kill yourself. Yeah, you're active now. But before that, you had some effect on your parents, on your grandparents that thought about you as your grandchild. Yeah, there's some kind of effect. We all know that in future there will be new generations. Yeah, and we want it or not, we think about it. It doesn't affect as much, but it affects us. Yeah, we think about it. Rather, I want to make good for them, or I don't care about them. Yeah, but this is my attitude. Yeah? So they affect. So when you come to this world, you get this marker at a certain point of time in a space and in a spatial arrangement. When you become you become a generator of dramaturgy, and you start to affect this life. Your mama, your parents, then your schools, and everything, etc., etc. Yeah, this point. So let's think about soul for now as not of something, yeah, something material, but as a marker of you making effect on this reality. So your soul is a moment of time when you affected something. So it's a bit clumsy construct, yeah. But for now, I can explain it only like this. Yeah, we will get to it more now. So soul is a marker. Let's say like this: it's a marker through all your life, like it goes, yeah. And at every point of now, it happens to be somewhere and somehow affect this reality. Yeah, this whole soul has a fate, and this fate is something determined, yeah, because the world is computational, but we never know because we need to live through every moment of now, every step to get to the step we want to see and see how it happened. Yeah? So there is no machine or a formula how to know exactly outcome of system in future, only living through all the steps. Yeah? So we can see. So we have a fate of a soul that is determined. We cannot know what it is exactly, but there is a pattern, there is a way of the soul. So now, what is the soul? Yeah, it's all moments of time that you were affecting reality. Yeah, remember, we are looking from the side of multidimensional beasts, yeah, who look at it as not a space, a time. They look whole this larva, whole this like one of things you did through your life from the beginning to the end. Yeah, you were born, you affected a little bit, then you become Napoleon Bonaparte and you affected everybody. Yeah, like, so this is your actual story. How to so what is the properties of the soul? The main property of the soul, it comes into your life, it is with you till the moment you're dead, and no more affecting the reality around you. So soul is your narrative of creating stories, of your affecting reality at the active phase when you're alive. So after you're dead, there is dramaturgical potential of you. There is effect of you. Yeah? But there is no like actual presence of a soul that's active now. Yeah, that can work here. So if you think the soul is a thing. So this is a description of the soul that is a marker of you being here till the moment you are not here. Just let's think only about this small description of the soul. This is your marker of being here, every moment of man, and now at every moment. Now let's try to do and separate it from the body. How can we separate the soul from the body? Let's think. So this is my setup. Let's think that video of a person. Yeah, my video when I say, "Hi, it's Sergi," and I declare that this video, this 15 seconds of video, is an NFT token of my soul. This is my soul. Stop. This 15 seconds of things I said, yeah, is turned through OpenSea, yeah, is turned into a token. Yeah. Now I have a video token where I state that this video token is my soul. So it's not nothing. Yeah, it's some energy, some data, and my statement. I can believe, I can fool you all, and actually this is not my soul. Yeah, but I state it. Yeah, I use my time and space to say this NFT token is my soul. First thing. Yeah. Okay. So from this moment, whether you believe it or not, there is some token that is told to be my soul. Next thing. So my experiments for now come to this point. So imagine that the soul is put on the external device. It's put on a ledger. Yeah. So you take this NFT token of your soul and you put it on a ledger. Now your soul is physically here. It still is in your heart, yeah, inside your body, but also you declared, you just told everybody that this is your soul also. Yeah. From now on, let's put it away, and let's put a device, yeah, on me with a needle with a poison. and it's connected through Wi-Fi to this ledger. And whenever the ledger is destroyed, is broken, yeah, this needle with the poison just strikes me and I'm dead. So this
Okay.
makes this makes formal connection of your external soul on a device, yeah, to your body, because it's important what will happen to this soul on this device, yeah, because if something happens, you will die. So we're not thinking about the way how it goes there. We're talking about the result. Yeah, the formal result is a little bit looks like you not fully, of course. Yeah, you have some features of the soul put away from your body. Yeah, of course, I will not kill anybody or myself to like choose. But there's another thing for
Thank
people
you for
who,
saying that.
yeah, no, no, yeah, sure, it's experiments. For like mind experiment of people use placebo, yeah, placebo effect sometimes is like good even if people know it's placebo. Let's say we take this ledger with the soul and put it to the Balinese monk temple. So I live in Bali, yeah, and this place like very spiritual, very interesting. So let's say I take this ledger with your soul and put it into the very great, high quality temple with the best priest who makes the number of religion and activities to bring you luck, maintain well and everything. Because this religion in Bali we have, it's like a very ancient animism. It's like a very small religion that's only on this island, and it kept all the features of the very ancient animism thing. So here people directly believe they need to negotiate with all the forces of nature for these forces of nature, not to like kill them or do something. So you need to wake up at morning and make small ceremony and put some food, some like lighted sticks, yeah, uh, in front of your house, let's say, yeah, to make a deal with spirits for today, not to touch you or even help you a little bit. So this framework works here on this island. Yeah, it's like legit here. It's great. People in generations work here. So why not taking this ledger with the soul and trying to put one group of people, let's say 30 people, yeah, with souls on the ledger to the temple, another test group, 30 people on the ledger, but we don't put it to the temple. We just tell them we did, yeah. And another group that just has a soul on the ledger kept at home, yeah. And just next, what we can do, we can see what happens, yeah, with these people. So if is there any correlation? Is will that 30 people who have their real soul, ledger soul, put in the temple, will they feel better? Yeah, will they have? So this is speculative research, but just at least can be promoted. Yeah, so I can test if 30 people with a soul on a ledger in a temple feel in general, yeah, maybe through some list, yeah, better in 3 months than people that don't. Yeah. So no correlation. Okay, it was tested. Yeah. So just your intention cannot make the deal, or can. Yeah. So this is something I'm about to do now also. So altogether, extracting your soul, it's more about soul. We can speak about it more now. So the whole formula why soul is inside our body and what is the size of the soul, we can come back to it if you want. But this is the idea of experiment. You extend soul, you extend your body. Sooner or later, we should put it inside the computer, yeah, inside a robot with a real robot, and then how to do it, yeah. So my speculation is like this: you're laid on the bed, and the robot is laying near to you, and what we need to do in some sort, you need to get the moment when your consciousness is same time in the robot and in you. Yeah. When you feel yourself, you're totally synchronized. The robot or I don't know, clone, yeah. So no, your future body, another body, future bodies that we made, should look exactly like you. Yeah. And let's say be in the same room. Yeah. In the same looking room. And then at some point you should be connected to that body, and you should feel yourself in your body and yourself in second body the same moment, the same way. Yeah. Now you're shared between two objects. Yeah. And what you need to do next, you need to switch off the original body. Switch off the original body, your mind wasn't shut off, yeah, and wasn't turned back on, yeah. You came with this experience with your body, and then synchronize it, then shut off the real body, and bam, you're inside of your robot body. All you need to do, take out that ledger from the previous experiment, yeah, install it in the body, download the soul, yeah, and now you have the soul, and you're
So
immortal, robotic, and soul. Fun.
there's so much. So I'm gonna go in. The immediate thought was that
Mhm,
um similar to like I guess lucid dreaming or astral projection or even like a lot of different forms of meditation like Kundalini or all that stuff. It
mhm,
anything that's specific to a feeling of the energy body, etheric body, the other thing that isn't your physical body. What you're describing sounds almost identical to going into your energy body. So it's so crazy. It's literally, this is the
mhm,
first time because I have listened to all the people who talk about longevity a lot because I've been curious. I have some health issues. I have a kid. I want to be here forever for him. Um, but
mhm,
I guess are you aware of how close to like esoteric like concepts like a golem this is, but then also it's very cutting edge and like are you purposely melding both those worlds or is it just a happy accident, like organic?
mhm. Absolutely great question again. Yes, it's on purpose, and I have also some things done about it. I mentioned Stephen Wolfram, Dr. Wolfram, yeah, like my favorite scientist. And actually, I'm like a year into a negotiation with his team, with his office, and him of making early 2025 to make a forum here in Asia of connecting the Hindu perception of Brahman, let's say like this, the idea of Brahman, to the ideas Stephen brought into in his Ruliat theory. So he has this like almost 3 years old theory of basically of connecting everything, yeah, like standard model and general relativity through the computational basics. So he has this theory of everything coming, yeah, and he's speaking about this need of observer in this theory. He's very into it exactly now, like 10 days ago, 20 days ago, he made a new video. And I even heard in this video, just like feedback to our talk, this idea of connecting Hindu perception, yeah, to what he's talking about, because basically it's all like a mess under the things people know and use for centuries. Yeah, so it's something just describing for formulas, and so I'm just a follower. Yeah, so he himself tells that he's not he struggled to feel it from metaphysical way. He's into it like a scientist, like a physicist. Yeah, but he openly says it. He's open now to try to understand how it works from like metaphysics, yeah, from this perception style, from this religion point. And that was, I think, his team was interested in, and I hope we still do this forum in Bali, yeah, because there are many connections. You basically say the same thing, yeah. People come to fundamental conclusions in their head, yeah, and they can be named differently, but these fundamental conclusions might be some sorts similar source, yeah. So I absolutely believe all the beliefs, all spiritual journeys, yeah, of people, they're they have a background, yeah, like mass, like
I
constants, yeah, they have a background. Mhm.
I have
Just
this
I'll
weird
switch to.
feeling.
Mhm. Hello.
Yes. Um,
Yeah, I just.
okay. So so I was just wondering, from everything you're talking about, have you had, because basically everything you're saying is leading me to believe that you've had some interesting experiences in life that don't involve like TV production or like something worldly, but rather some, because like the way you're talking, it's alluding to things, but you haven't detailed
Mhm.
any experience yet. So I guess at this point, because we've also been going for a while, and
Mhm.
I didn't realize, my bad. But this is great. we have to do this again, and I have to get you on the Discord. You don't under, it's a matter of life and death. It's a matter of life and death. I need,
Oh, I feel so great about it, because when you feel somebody that's like just understands and feels interest, it's great.
N-
So yeah,
no,
absolutely.
I think everyone's going to be as receptive. But okay, so my question is, if I asked you, what is the weirdest thing that has ever happened to you that you can
Mhm,
share with us without getting in trouble of any kind? What would that be?
mhm. Yeah, I wished I like to have some really interesting and spiritual things in my life. So I like looking for them. Yeah, but actually, so I didn't have many. So I didn't have so much things that are bizarre or unexplainable. Maybe the closest thing to this feeling is how it's called in English. The state usually in young age when you have sleep paralysis. Yeah, sleep paralysis. This very interesting, strange feeling you don't have, but then suddenly you have. Yeah, and you
Yeah.
have this states of mind when you're conscious, sleeping, not sleeping. You cannot control yourself, and usually at this point you have some insights. Yeah, and I remember my insight of this kind. Yeah, it was maybe like 16 years old or something else when it was something I was thinking about, like all young people, like what is the purpose of life? Is there a God or is there no God? Yeah, is there a God or is there no God? And I remember this night I just went to sleep in my room with like some kind of definite thought. No, there is no God. Something like this, yeah, like a finished discussion on this position and went to sleep. Yeah, and this is the first time sleep paralysis happened to me, and I had weird experience, very great one. It was in a form of I didn't control myself. Yeah, at that moment I didn't know it was a sleep paralysis, so it was even more interesting. Yeah, more exciting to like feel what is happening to me, and I felt this like some kind of music and voice. That it is the only time in my life I can say I hear voice. Yeah, so never again in any shape. Maybe only this time I heard the voice that like was talking to me very strictly and directly. Something like you just like there was God, but it went away. It's like there was God, but there is no God now, and like you really want to die, and this is how you die. No, please experience it. And I feel like no, I cannot move, yeah, and like my heart is stopping or something. I cannot breathe, and I like the feels this is the moment you're going to die, and I say like no, I don't want to die. Of course I don't want to die. No. So it's fine for me, yeah. And like this paralysis ended, and then like maybe 2 or 3 nights it was very hard to me to fall asleep, because when I fall asleep I felt this the same thing again. So it was like some kind of no mind state, yeah, when you're very afraid you're in this position. And this was like a that point of my life of like telling you like what does it mean there was God, but it's gone now. So and the name of it, something includes words similar to Arkansas, something like Arkansas, something it was in Arkansas. How is this here? So I absolutely clearly understand it's like some random things here. It's absolutely not something very important spiritually, yeah. But it was something that like that get into me without my intention. Yeah. So this was the first time I really felt what you were saying about. Yes. So I wrote down that experience directly. I just made some pictures, and like for many years I thought about it like about some special stuff in my life. Yeah. Then I felt a few times sleep paralysis again, researched some papers about it, yeah, and understood it more or less explainable and common state. Yeah. But the state, the position I was in, like give me this insight, yes, this answers, something about God, about real purpose and the stuff. So actually I didn't get answers, yeah, and long talk, but it was interesting push. I think
Yeah,
nothing else. Mm,
but
no.
it seems like even it seems like the like it's ironic that something would show up and tell you that God is not there, but it was, and then also tell you the name, and also then like I immediately was like,
Yeah.
well, who are you then? Like if there's no, then what are you? And then I immediately started it's just so interesting that even the quantum dramaturgy framework is it's it's stranger than people that like it sounds strange, but then when you look at reality, it's like, why would this story come second? Who said this? Like, where did it even start? So I guess to wrap up this our first insane talk, if you had, where are you at in terms of your, obviously you're operating your body and your avatar in a very interesting way, like you said. But
Mhm.
w- what do you feel the like how do you operate moment to moment? Like, do you think about eating? Do you have like mini goals? Are you going to like do a workout now? What is the rest of your day
Mhm.
gonna look like?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's no, talking with my ego. Yeah, with people inside who follow my idea. Yeah, so I will go skating. I will go to make some work in school. Yeah, also I just like run architectural business. We actually construct like cities here in Bali. So I never know I were architect, so I became architect here. So yeah, I have many things to do, like running the school, yeah, making architecture, like legal advice, writing all these programs for kids entertainment shows and stuff, like for new development ideas. I have a few projects with my friends. So I just switch from one interesting thing to another thing. Yeah. So that's my way of doing it. Luckily, I have a wife that's in the same framework. So like we were 15 years together, and like we work together, and our businesses are shared. So it's like more of binary system. Yeah, this is this case that helped us to like multiply our strengths. Yeah, and make it more. So we have times like, for instance, I switched to a child to growing the child for maybe 3 years. I switched totally out of business of everything. I didn't even have my phone. Yeah. So my wife get a better in business in that moment, and she became like a person. And I just started to
No. Welcome back.
yeah, sorry. Now somebody called me and it stopped. So yeah, so basically I follow my framework and I use the things I try to tell to people. So I decompose my goals, yeah, and my ideas to the state it's possible. So it was all about me. So I plan to be a rock star. I plan to be a scientist. Yeah, I plan to discover it more. I plan to like make this experiments about being immortal. Yeah, so the much more I know you know this framework. Yeah, it's much more things you want to do that you are capable of doing because of the time. Yeah, and this is so I find interest in this. So I just switch from one very interesting thing to another very interesting thing. Yeah, and I just switch the things all the time. So basically I don't have to, on this point I don't have to, like do the basic things like looking for like cleaning or like washing dishes, like or thinking about the food. So I get to the situation like 8 years of being in Bali and working here make me, so it was my first goal, yeah, to get some like business and financial stability to be able to think about other things. So and such or another way I got it. So and now I don't have to think about keeping myself alive, yeah, keeping about myself fed and everything. So that's all done. Now I focus on learning this thing, yeah, how to create new program for kids, how to create a new house for people. So I just like invented a new kind of architecture as a structure, like bamboo plus iron. So I do buildings in Bali that are different, yeah, that are used using bamboo and some iron instead of concrete. So it's like something
Bro,
separate, yeah, something, but the approach is
we
the same.
we can have like 9,000 episodes of t I don't even know where to now. We still have to talk about these
Mm-hmm.
buildings. We haven't even talked about your childhood or your education. This isn't your create. I don't even know what's happening. I don't,
Feel good.
I love whoever wrote you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
This is great. Like I love the script for this art. I didn't know this was gonna happen. I I love this. I'm excited to record again. But before we end,
Hmm.
if there are people who listen all the way through sometimes and they make it to this point and then they're like, oh, what's the last thing he's gonna say? So if someone was listening and they're like, well, what is the
Hmm.
last thing Sergio's gonna say? What is the last thing you want to leave them with today?
Oh yeah, for today it will be easy. It will be like, don't take everything too serious. You you are already already lose this game. You're already lost. Everything is fine. Nothing you can do is too serious to be important. Yeah, it's all good. Just relax and do something that at least a bit makes you happy. Yeah, and maybe plan how to do it more and how to do more of things that make you happy. But the most relax and chill. You don't have to worry about anything. Nothing is important. Everything is only in your head. It's easy, but it's something to stay with. Yeah, relax and try to be that God inside of you from the scratch, and not feel this burden and these things that bring you back. Yeah, be every day fresh and new. Like everybody says, every moment of now you can change your life forever. Yeah, you can do it. There are some obstacles, but basically you can change the way you think from any moment of now, and that is the greatest superpower we have. Yeah, change how you think every moment and change it to the better, like this. Yeah.
Bro, this was amazing. I'm gonna press stop recording.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, man.
Thank you. I'm excited to do this again.